What is up, Bucs fans? We are live. It is Real Bucs Talk, and it's NFL draft time, which is awesome. We're going to be with you guys throughout the first round, and join with me is my good friend Ken Barrett from Buck What You Heard. You guys know him, so it's awesome, Ken, to be here with you talking draft, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this. Just live analysis and really, picking each other's brains. But Ken, how are you doing? How are you feeling about tonight?
Oh man, I'm feeling good. It's like the OJ Howard year. We're picking 19 again. It's like, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff that's going to happen early on. I mean, everyone's talking about the Titans moving up. Like, I want to see who those big trades are. I also want to see, if last year became a trend and, if these big players are moving. And if that happens, it's going to push some players down to the Bucks. And usually each year there's never 32, 31 this year, first round pick. So it's going to be really nice to see, hey, who slips. And I think
Right.
that's where the Bucks are going to capitalize. I don't think there's one need like the Tristan Wirfs year. Let that best player fall to you, just not at running back.
Right.
That's
No,
my
I
only
agree.
caveat.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
If
running
no
back.
one's there and it's Bijan, okay, that I can live with that. But if
Yeah.
there's a tackle,
Yeah.
if there's Brian Branch, like
Mhm.
I just wouldn't be excited because it's like I
Yeah.
like Rashad White, man. I want him to be
Yeah.
running back one, and I think he's got the skills to do it. I think he has the mentality to do it.
Mhm.
We got a solid number 2 running back right now, and then there's still
Yeah.
Keyshawn Vaughn laying in the weeds. So I mean, like Seattle had 3 running backs. We don't need to have all like we don't need another Rashad Penny to what Seattle's had for so long.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you
I
have Chris
agree.
Carson, you have Kenneth Walker the third. Let those guys, be the cogs in the backfield.
Mhm. No, I agree with that. And, it's like, okay, you just drafted Rashad White. You're trying to show confidence in him, and then you go ahead and take Bijan Robinson, which again, yeah, number one overall pick, Shane Falco. Yes, that is me right now. So yeah, I love it. But yeah, Bijan would again, he's one of the elite players in this class, and I think there's only 3 of them in this draft. When you talk about Bijan, Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, those are your top players. So if you could get a guy like that, and I think
It'd be if the right scenario works out, great,
right, yeah,
great, cool.
yeah,
I don't think Jason would say no to it either.
right,
Um, so again,
and
his talent and what I tell people is, if like I think Bijan and Saquon aren't too far off. Obviously, Saquon was taken probably further up than what Bijan's going to go tonight. I also think the Texans are going to be a sneaky pick for him as well. I know they got your
mhm,
boy Damian Pierce,
yeah,
but again, I think they've shown that they're just going to take talent over anything. But from Bijan's standpoint, if he were to, let's say, have the first 5 years that Saquon had, I think at 19, the pill swallows better than 3 or 4, wherever Saquon went. So it's like, if it happens, it happens. I just don't like it, they better hit later in the draft. That's all I'm going to say. You better hit at safety. You better hit at corner. You better hit at
right,
D line. You better hit at linebacker.
mhm,
Because your offense is basically done. Like, you're not going to draft a tackle round 3. You're
no,
not going to
no,
take, a wide receiver round 3 right now because they wouldn't play anyway. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they need those defensive playmakers, and the offensive line is what I'm hoping for in the next 3 days.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And you look at, this tackle class again, it's very top heavy. It's not very deep. So if you don't get a tackle round 1, then it's kind of like, okay, well, we're not going to draft one. We'll just have to find ways to, maybe bring in a veteran, or you go with Luke Gedeke, at right tackle, and, see what happens. But my point with Bijan is, like, if they do take him, I feel confident that they have the right guy as far as
Oh, and
Dave.
we're going to run. We're going to be
Yeah,
like a 50-60% run team. And
yeah,
that's
and
fine.
yeah, and they have the right guy in Dave
Just be ready
Canales.
for it.
Yeah, they have the right guy in Dave to orchestrate it where Bijan and Rashad will be on the field at the same time, and they'll figure out things, to run the offense effectively. So when I look
Yeah.
at it that way, it's fine with me. I have no issues with it. But like
And
you
what's
said,
going to happen if you don't have the O line? Because I'm a person who everyone talks about inside out. To me, I like the offensive line being the dictators in the run game as opposed to the running back,
mhm,
because that's how injuries happen. They're running a lot more. they're having to make cuts when they probably didn't need to
Yeah.
because there's no holes for them to run through. So that's that inside out mentality that I have. But again, Bijan's a guy who can make you miss. Rashad's a guy who can make you miss. They
Yeah.
both catch. I mean, I think you're just going to go to old school smash mouth football, a lot of running play action and a lot of deep shots. Like when we do pass, which we
Mm.
know is Baker's strength. So if that's the plan, that's the plan. I'm just curious to see what they do with Wirfs.
Mm.
If let's say there is no offensive tackle taken this draft, um, again, do you just sign a right tackle? Do you knock on Donovan Smith's door again and maybe just get him, a
Yeah.
little bit of a discount because no one's picked up Donovan.
Mm.
So
Right, right. No, definitely, yeah, definitely leaves options for you. But I feel confident that Tristan's going to go to the left side. I feel like that's a move they're going to do. It makes
it's hard
sense.
to get a left tackle at 19 too. You can get a right
Yeah,
tackle. It's hard to get a left tackle at 19.
right. Yeah, and there's been a lot of hype for Anton Harrison out of
I
Oklahoma.
think he's
That's
going early. He's going to be the first one off. That's my
You think
prediction,
so?
at least.
Yeah,
I because everyone likes the Tennessee right tackle.
right. Darnell
Names
Wright.
better than I do. Yeah, right's great.
Hmm.
But again, it's between the two. Give me the guy who's a little bit more athletic, a little bit more sound technically.
Mm.
But you're getting the upside with again if he's at 19,
Yeah.
like again, send that puppy in. Tristan, go to the left. You got your right tackle, and you're good. Uh, Um, back either of them are going to make it there. I think tackle and cornerback, excuse me, are going to be flying. Once pick 7, pick 8 come rolling around.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at cornerback, offensive tackle, tight end. I think is all
That's
positions.
when's the first one going to go? Because there's some
Yeah.
good tight ends.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Darnell Washington, Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid. All those guys probably going to go first round. But yeah, it's a deep position for sure because you look at the cornerback group. There's going to be a lot of corners. And then offensive line always a premium position, edge position as well. But again, it'll be interesting to see when that run does take place and what position is it going to be. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be an exciting draft because, like I've talked about before, this draft is not very good. Like there's,
But
it's
that
not.
also makes it exciting, though, and I
It
think that's the
does.
big thing everyone's getting out of this, and
Mhm.
for once, I actually agree. Normally, I'm poo-poo, but
Yeah.
after, like, the first 10 picks, but after the first 4, 5, I think after pick 5, I think
Mm.
we're gonna talk about the 2 top defensive players and then the probably 3 quarterbacks is what I'm
Mhm.
thinking.
Yeah. No, I could see it that way. Gonna get into the chat here a little bit.
Let's
Let's
do it.
see. G Vegas was talking about the linebacker from Auburn. Owen, I think it's Owen Papo as a linebacker in waiting. Yeah, I mean, I think he is an intriguing prospect. Again, he's got a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. Kind of very similar as far he's a downhill linebacker, so he likes to attack and blitz, and that makes sense. So yeah, that definitely could be an option. Um, any thoughts on Papo? Have you watched any of him or?
I mean, I've watched a little bit, but
Mm.
from my standpoint, if you are drafting an inside linebacker in the top 2 rounds, that tells me the Bucs know something we don't,
Mhm.
about at least one of the linebackers. Obviously, Devin's had all of
Yeah.
the reports, but Levante's up there in age. He
Mhm.
probably has maybe told something maybe to staff, hey, this is probably it for me, or maybe one more year after. But as much as I love KJ Britt, we know he's not the guy. So if they believe in a guy round 2, or let's say they trade back round 1, Papo, Jack Campbell,
Mhm.
whatever picks their poison, I think that's the good value for the inside linebacker position in this
Right.
draft. It's not
Right.
it's not at 19, 25, 30. Sure.
Yeah. Well, I think, Papo, I think he's going to be a later round pick. I see him
Well,
as a third, fourth round guy. But yeah, definitely it could be an option to add someone like that.
I tell people
Mhm.
after probably the middle of the second round, it's literally a crapshoot
It
for
is.
most years. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I
And
mean?
it
There's guys
goes,
we always, well, what was Chauncey Gardner Johnson? was a consensus top 20 player. And what did he go in the 4th and 5th round, like to the Saints? I mean, like you really, everyone looks at the consensus big boards. I think it's a great tool. But you see every year teams like the Ravens. The Ravens just pretty much pick off that board. Oh, he's the number one center. Okay, great. He's the number one, inside defensive lineman. Okay, great. Like that. And everyone each year gives the Ravens an A for their drafting. But that doesn't always work out. Yeah. Just because there's a consensus, amongst mass media doesn't mean, again, Pompo could go. What was that guard who went to the Patriots last year?
Oh yeah, first round.
Like
Cole
be a
Strange.
Cole Strange, 3rd or 4th round, projection, and goes in the first round. Again, if Papo's their guy, I think that would be a 2nd, 3rd round, but like anything can really happen. And we always see it Saturday at noon when they start round 4. Every year there's like 5 guys. You're just like, oh, if they fell to the Bucs, oh, if they fell to my team, you know what I mean? So it's
yeah, for sure. And that's what makes this draft great, because it's like we can see names like that go way early, like way earlier than suspected or projected.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. I think that's going to be exciting. And G Vegas brought up another point.
This one.
Yeah, another point. Who do you not want the Falcons to draft? So that's intriguing. I'll let you.
A good edge to go with Grady Jarrett, I think, is a scary proposition.
Right.
And I mean, he basically owned us week 17.
Yeah, he did. He did for sure. Yeah, I mean, the Falcons, obviously, that there's rumors that they're looking at Bijan Robinson.
I think that's fun though, but if you can find a Cordell Patterson, like, you don't need Bijan, man.
Yeah.
You know what? They were just fine last year. They had the rookie. I forgot his name. I need to look it up. But I had him in fantasy. Algier. Algier was great. He was great running back too. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they want to take Bijan, I mean, it's I don't want them to obviously draft, probably like you said earlier, a top 2 to 3 consensus player.
Right.
But if they hit on edge, or if, let's say, they take a guy that the Bucs, would want, whether it be an edge or, maybe Brian Branch, you never know, like a good playmaker. That's what I don't want. I mean, they took wide receiver, so I don't think they're going to take wide receiver. I don't think they need O-line, really. They always like they do okay at O-line, so it's like, I don't think they're taking tackle.
Yeah, I agree with you, like edge, like getting a good edge. So hopefully, like, no Nolan Smith or
the Georgia kid. Oh yeah, so that's Nolan.
Yeah. You look
at
the
kid from, is it Texas A&M? What's that kid?
Yeah, Tyree Wilson.
Tyree.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm bad with names. You can ask when I was a teacher. I had kids for 3 weeks. It took me 3 weeks to learn their names, man. Like, I would mix up Susie and Taylor all the time. You know what I mean? So it's just like, don't, when we're talking through the draft and I say the Georgia kid, like that's gonna be me most of the night.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I might just pull up like a Draft Network or PFF, like just the names, so I at least have them up. I think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Bring up a big board. So we have it prepared. But yeah, I mean, no, I'm right there with you. I'll be honest, I haven't done as intense draft study as I have done in previous years, and
I think part of the reason though is because we've done well. Like, we've gotten to the playoffs. It's like we're not thinking about the draft in November.
No, we're not. It's definitely it's been a change. So yeah, bring this up. Razor winning 3-0. That's my good friend.
Hey,
my bartender for the night. If anybody doesn't know, I'm here live from a private island. We're here at Palm Island. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's a place in Florida. It's really nice, and I am enjoying myself. As you can see, got a nice background and ready for this draft. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So JC Allen, good to see you, man. Appreciate you.
Is he like dual chats right now?
I guess so. Yeah, he's working double time. He's in Pewter Report and also in our chat. So that's great. Yeah. Jeremy, good to see you. Watching the Lightning live from
Oh,
Britain.
Shane McClanahan's pitching. Oh, of course the Rays are going to win tonight.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's the shutdown man. He stops the losing streak.
And this is why each year. So the Rays are obviously having the best record in baseball in like 100 years, and to start a
Mhm.
season, I guarantee you, plus by the summer, June 6th is gonna hit, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it on Twitter, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, as I consider myself more of a Rays fan than a Yankees fan these days,
Mhm.
but like, man, you can't count the Rays out, man. Like, it's baseball. Like, you're gonna go through swings, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
obviously, right now, this swing is just helping your season, though.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's always ups and downs. There's always adversity. There's always injuries that come into play, and you know, for the Ray,
162, man.
it's a long season, very long, long and grueling. I don't know how those guys do it. That's probably why they get paid like they do. So yeah, yeah, very.
Imagine if baseball players only had 50 games. They ain't getting $500 million contracts, $300 million
Yeah.
contracts. They're only playing 50 games.
You're getting a lot of support here, KB. It's awesome. JC Allen talking about the ceiling fan in the background.
It's hot up here. When you're upstairs, man.
Yeah.
I got that thing going.
No, I get that. Yeah, especially because usually my podcast room is upstairs, and it does get hot. I have to crank that AC down
Well,
and
especially
put
down in
it.
Florida, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Got to put it down to like 68 when I'm recording because it gets hot. Like I start sweating, and then it just
Well,
continues.
now you guys will know if I freeze on the screen. You just have to look at the fan. That'll tell
Right?
you if I'm
It's
live or
the
not.
it's the signal. It's awesome. But anyway, guys, appreciate everyone that's in here. All the support is much appreciated. Be sure to hit that like button, and again, continue to bring the questions, all that good stuff. So I'm sure we'll probably get a lot more people in here once the draft starts. But everyone that is in
9
here,
minutes, baby.
everyone that is in here, we love you and thank you. So much
That you could
appreciated.
have literally been anywhere else. You could be on your couch watching ESPN NFL Network. You could be
Mm,
at our friend's Pewter Report, but you're still here.
yeah.
We appreciate all of you.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. I think G Vegas had another good point. I see Worfs or whoever else is on the O line can limit AA if the Falcons draft him, but not a Jalen Carter or Nolan. So AA, I'm not sure who's he talking about there. AA, no idea. It's probably a name I should know. Uh, but yeah, G Vegas, let us know who AA is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh, I forgot. They also got Calais Campbell this offseason.
Oh, okay. Okay.
David Onyemata too. So that inside defensive line looking pretty solid with Grady, David, or Onyemata and Campbell. So yeah, I hope they don't hit on edge. But
Yeah.
they got your boy Arnold. They got
Yeah. Big
Lorenzo
Teddy.
Carter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think if the top edge is there, if I were them, I mean, they
Yeah.
got Jesse Bates at safety. I'm trying to just look at what they can possibly do. AJ Terrell, Jeff Okuda at corner.
Yeah.
Um, I think edge has to be the position for the Falcons, and if they hit, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah. I think edge. They could also look at corner. Even though they did get Akuda from Detroit, but I could see another corner, especially if if they have Christian Gonzalez there. Oh, okay. That makes sense. He's talking about the guy from Northwestern. Yeah. I don't see him going that high, but again, who
No.
knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? But I don't see him going in the top 10. He's more of I think a day 2 type of player, especially when you look at him on tape. He was just, very inconsistent, didn't have a lot of rush plan. But they used him in various ways. I think he's more of a 3-tech defensive lineman, but they used him as edge. So yeah, he's intriguing. Good character guy, but yeah, we'll see. He could be like a late round 1 pick. I could see that where he sneaks into the end of the round 1 situation, and you could see a lot of those guys like Will McDonald, BJ Ojolari, the guy from Kansas State, King Felix, as I call him.
Hey, I miss him in MLB, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do too. Yeah, Felix Hernandez was really fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, We got about, I don't know. It says it's going to start in like 5 minutes, but I doubt they're going to have the pick right away.
Oh no,
I
no, no.
think,
Roger's gonna come out like 3 minutes after, 5 minutes
yeah,
after. And then
yeah,
he's gonna get his booze, he's gonna stand there for 2 minutes, he's gonna give some kind of speech, and
right.
then Panthers, you're on the clock. And we know the Panthers, even
Right.
though they've had all this time, they're gonna take 9.5 minutes before they submit that pick.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're trying to, see what, comes on the phone but I mean, who do you think that's going to be? Are you leaning? I'm leaning more Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young's going to be the pick at
I
number one.
To me, it has to be Stroud or Young, but I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be Young, just because I think again, if we're talking about consensus, I
Mm,
think across the board, um, Bryce Young's the guy. They
yeah.
have the pieces. They have,
Right.
um, they trade away DJ Moore, so obviously they're gonna have to find another receiver. But they
Hmm.
have a decent O line. They got good running backs. They got a pretty good defense. So it's
Yeah.
take the best QB. He might be a little small. He might be a little weak, um, but he's a playmaker, man.
Hmm. No, yeah, I agree. I like Bryce Young. I just think he was the most consistent on tape, and his playmaking ability, decision making was really good, and he was the guy. And I think you factor all that in, and you have to kind of just, yes, the size is a concern, the height and the weight, all that. There's a risk for injuries for sure, but I think you kind of put that to a side and you look at what he does as a quarterback. You got to feel good about that. If you're Carolina, I think that's where they go. So yeah, that will be intriguing. And like you said, they're going to take all the time in the world and make other fans
They only
suffer.
traded away a huge get, and of
Yeah,
course, field offers during that time. Of course,
right. Yeah. What did
aka
you?
pay for ESPN's ads is what it's gonna. That's
Yeah,
what that's for.
yeah. What did you think of that trade as far as like for Chicago? For Chicago, I thought it was
Oh, it
really
was the
good.
addition of DJ Moore because obviously
Mhm.
you're getting the draft picks, which,
Yeah.
let's say the Panthers hit on Bryce Young, for instance, and they're good. That draft pick's probably in the later 15s,
Mhm.
the later teens, if
Right.
not obviously higher if they do make the playoffs, for instance. But big but, um, trading away a known playmaker when you're going to have a QB contract
Yeah.
is tough, man. That's to me what swung the pendulum to the Bears. If let's say it was that and
Mhm.
Terrence Marshall, I'd probably say the Panthers, as long as they hit, were good. But I think
Right.
the Panthers can hit and the Bears still make out pretty well.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. I mean, at pick 9, I think they have an opportunity, to get the best offensive lineman, if they wanna go that way, or they could get a star defensive player, and I also could see, Bijan Robinson being a possibility too, at 9, because you get a playmaker with Justin Fields that would be, I think, wise, and it just makes you more dynamic. But yeah,
it makes
offensive
that
li
trade for Claypool look a
Mhm.
lot better because
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
basically traded Claypool for Roquan Smith is essentially what you did. That was a little
mhm,
risky business, but now you have DJ Moore and Claypool is your second or your third guy. That's fun
mhm.
because they have that speed kid. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Oh, Mooney. Yeah,
Mooney. Like, so
Darnell
I
Mooney.
think that's good. Like DJ Moore can start and then play in the slot. When they go through our receiver sets. So it's like
Mhm.
that Claypool trade doesn't look too bad now.
Right, right. No, agreed. Yeah, no, that's awesome, and yeah, at the top of the draft, and I think Houston's like the intriguing one because do they take defensive player?
That's where the
Do
strat draft starts, man. I don't think they're
Yeah,
trading out of it because they have 12. What more do you
right.
really
Yeah,
need? Like,
yeah.
so do you go quarterback? If they don't go quarterback, I'm gonna be royally shocked.
Mhm.
But it's Will Anderson or a quarterback. I don't see any
Yeah.
other scenario in
There
this.
was some hype for Tyree Wilson at 2, and I'm like,
But
I'm
they
like,
did the same thing last year. Who was the edge that they wound up going cornerback from LSU, but I thought they were going to go edge last year.
mm. Yeah.
because I Lovie Smith, I thought edge would be more important to him than
Right. Right. No, agreed.
cornerback.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy's saying Will Anderson to Texans. Yeah. That could very well be the case. And it makes a
Unless
lot
you're
of
Chris
sense.
Sims. Imagine if Chris Sims was your GM. Did you see what he did with
I didn't
Will?
see his mock draft.
He's
Yeah.
Oh, it's not even a mock draft.
Oh,
His
okay.
whole thing for the past month is Will Anderson's like the sixth best, not even a first round grade
Oh,
edge.
wow.
He had him below literally all of your consensus people. I'm gonna look at edge real quick
Yeah.
on this. No, he had him below Tyree, below Nolan, below Miles Murphy, below Van Ness, and
Mm,
below McDonald. So he was like the fifth or sixth edge.
yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah. Yep. Gaming Reaper, big fan of Darnell Wright. I think that would be a lot of fun. I would like to see him, be there at 19. I think that'd
Oh,
be
if
yeah.
you any of these tackles, I'm Gucci with. I don't think
Mm,
the kid from Northwestern. I know that's the whole worst thing. People are like, oh, I think he's getting a guard. So if he slips, fucking great. But
mm,
I don't think he's gonna last. But Broderick Jones, Darnell Wright, Antoine Harrison. I think it reminds me a little bit of 2020, where it was like, hey, there's like the two or three guys I want. Like I was out on Mekhi Becton that particular draft.
mm,
It was just too big. I thought
yeah.
he really needed to slim down. But
Right.
like for these, if you get Jones right, and they're not there, if those two are there, it's an automatic pick for me. But if Harrison is like your Josh Jones of that draft,
Right.
great,
Yeah.
great. He didn't go to the third round for the Cardinals, but the whole mocks for that entire year was the Bucs were going to draft Josh Jones because
Mm,
those top four weren't going to be there.
yeah. And being able to get like Tristan Wirfs in 2020 as the fourth offensive tackle, that was just crazy.
And
Because
remember when people were freaking out that we traded a fourth?
oh
Good
yeah,
times. Peter Skoronsky, that's that kid's name.
yeah,
But yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't. Oh, I didn't even mention Paris Johnson. I just think he's not going to be there. Sorry.
yeah. Paris Johnson's really good. I like.
He's the one I think is going to go quick. He's
Yeah,
going
I
to be
like.
the first one off, unless
Yeah.
someone like Skoronsky to be a guard more. I don't think you draft Skoronsky in the top 10 to be a tackle, but if you
Mm,
if you think he can be Quentin Nelson, slide that pick in.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. Skoronsky is definitely a clean. Like his tape is just very clean. He knows what he's doing. I think he could play guard or tackle. Obviously, there's upside probably higher at guard, just because of the arm length. But
Hey, if it
he,
gets to 12 and only Johnson's off the board,
mm,
hey Jason,
yeah, start knocking on
knock
that.
on those doors.
Yeah, start calling, phone it in. See what happens. But anyway, guys, the draft I guess is officially about to start, or at least they're going through the hype right now of showing it, and but it's
Kevin, baby, Kevin on The Office. Let's go listening to some Journey.
but yeah, it's past 8 o'clock, so looks like it's gonna get underway here shortly, and we'll start to give you guys live analysis on each pick and see what we think. But let's get why we have the time. We're gonna have a lot of time tonight because the Bucks won't be probably picking till after
I said
10:30.
10:30. I think
Yeah.
10:30 is like the sweet spot.
Yeah, 10:30 around that time. And plus we don't know, if there's gonna be a lot of trades that could, delay things. So yeah, it could be a long one. So we appreciate you guys coming and joining us again. Come back in. You can leave, come back later. We'll still be here.
Yeah, go put the kids to bed, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
just
yeah,
pop us back on,
yep,
So
yep,
we know you got to do things as well. And
right.
um, got to check Twitter. You got to do all that kind of fun stuff.
Absolutely. So let me bring this up and we'll just talk a little bit, get your thoughts on just the offseason as a whole
Mm.
and like, overall, assessment of the roster as it currently stands. Let me see if I can get that up here. I'll zoom this in a little bit. Let me know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah, baby. Wow.
Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you look at the offense here. I mean, just your general assessment, and as you can probably just look at it, the obvious needs point to offensive line, just based on, who is there. Um, obviously could use another
I
tight
love
end.
how ESPN put Tristan at left already. I love it.
Oh yeah, they're like, this
But
is a done.
Brandon Walton at right tackle, what the F's going on there? Come on now.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wait, who's
just
the right tackle that we do? Oh, why isn't Filer at least at right tackle or something? Like
I
I don't
know.
like this. This. Oh, put Hainsey at right guard or something, man. This is making me sweat a little bit.
But yeah, just your thoughts of the offense and like just the what they've done so far as the additions. Obviously Baker and Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, take QB out of the picture. We obviously know none of the Trasker Mayfield aren't going to live up to Tom. But I think if you just look at the roster top to bottom, it's not going to be as talented of a roster as what we've had the past, 3-4 years, really. The 2019 roster was really freaking good, in my opinion.
Right.
However, what you do have is some consistent performers on there. And you need a guy like, Rachaad White to take that next step. The offensive line, I mean, shit. Obviously, ESPN and I disagree what the offensive line should look like, but that could be what it looks like. You never know. So, I mean, the offensive line's the question mark. I like our tight ends. I think they're going to add one in the mid rounds this year, maybe fourth, fifth. Because I don't think Light's exiting this draft without a fourth round pick. That's just his MO. So from that standpoint, I just think, hey, take some guys who can help you in the trenches. Take a playmaker, whether that be a wide receiver or tight end. I want to see O'Keefe do a little bit more. I think he proved a lot to a lot of people. I mean, I'll never forget his little Mike Evans back shoulder fade route. You know what I mean? He's got the ability. He had a couple drops though. But give him an off season. Auden didn't really get to enjoy much of an off season last year. He had the foot injury coming out of Washington. Yeah. So I think it's just going to be a big year for those two. They're just going, whether it be a free agent or a draft pick, there's going to be another guy in there. David Wells isn't going to be a third tight end. We know what Chris and Mike are going to give us. I think Gage is going to be. I'm really happy he came back and he willingly took that. A little bit of a discount for us. I think it just helped both parties, keeps him on the roster, keeps the Bucs at a third wide receiver for only $7.5 million, and he can still earn up to 10, but that won't come off the books for us till next year if you were to reach that. So again, it's not as talented, but you have the reliable pieces, Jensen, Wirfs, Godwin, Evans. You need a couple guys to step up, and you need an addition or two on that O-line.
Yeah, for sure. I think, there's certain positions they can, definitely add. I think they will come away from this draft with at least.
Oh, look who John Lederer just gave us. Breaking news. I'll take Broderick Jones. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, did he talk about that?
No, you have Twitter up right now.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
It had John Ledyard pick. He did his like final mock draft. So I thought that was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, Broderick Jones. Yeah, Broderick would be a nice pick. Again, super athletic. Has played the left side.
Hey, so can get us Andrew Thomas. Basically, I don't think he's as good as Andrew, but I mean,
right. He's got upside. Still room to grow.
I still can't believe Andrew Thomas was the first tackle. I thought he was the guy who was going to fall to us that draft.
Yeah, Andrew Thomas was like the likely guy that was supposed to fall, and he ends up being the first guy taken, which. Again, that's something you can see tonight as far as these picks. Like anybody can go. I know you brought up Paris Johnson. Like he could be the third pick for Arizona.
And that's that's what I mean. Well, isn't that Kyler said that's who he wanted?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like again, but then is D-Hop out? Like, if they drop from, I don't believe the Mike Florio report and explain this to me why this trade would make sense. The Cardinals would give up 3 and D-Hop to drop all the way to 11. Are they getting literally the entire Titans roster? Are they getting their next 2 draft picks or like next 2 years worth of drafts? Why would the Cardinals do that? Why would also Hopkins want to go there? Makes no sense.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think Cardinals are out. It's good again. I think if Texans, for instance, don't take a QB, if I'm Arizona,
trade.
Ring. Bring them all in. That's literally the draft day moment where you do the David Putney moment. you
Yeah.
go, hey, everything just changed in the past 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was I love that movie. That's so funny.
I watched
Um,
it literally. I literally just went on a treadmill and I was like, I am not getting off. I'm just gonna walk at like a
yeah.
three's pace and like a 7 or 8 incline. I'm like, I'm just gonna go an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
And it was worth every second because I
Yeah.
haven't this is probably the least draft stuff I've done in the
Mm,
past 4 or 5 years. And it just made me smile and made
yeah.
me look forward to today.
Yeah, absolutely. I had it on this morning, while I was preparing to, get ready for this trip that I'm going on, or I'm here, but, it's like I was watching it and I was, like, packing at the same time, so it was just cool. I had it on the background and, yeah, it's always cool to hear the quotes that come up in that movie, and it just makes you laugh, and, yeah, it's, a lot of fun. It's a movie that you're happy they made it because again, it's just fun to kind of laugh at it and just have, good time with it. It's a good time movie.
I hope they not necessarily do a sequel, but I would love to see a different interpretation at some point.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
maybe a little more
I
realistic.
just think there's just a couple things that, like, for instance, who's gonna fire their father? Like, it's just like
Yeah.
small details like that. And don't get me wrong, like the birthday party thing is
Mhm.
like one thing, but
Yeah.
when the Wisconsin coach, played by, I forgot that guy's name, but he's got that very southern, straight
Mhm.
from like Texas. He's
Yeah,
Bradley
yeah.
Cooper's brother in A Star Is Born. I forgot his name. He's
Oh,
literally
Sam
straight out of a
Sam Elliott.
Western.
Yeah, Sam
Sam
Elliott.
Elliott. So
Yeah.
Sam Elliott is just like, yeah, well, the entire, police force probably just let the Wisconsin players slide. I was
Mhm.
like, that's a pretty damn good like thing that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Especially in
like
like Wisconsin. If they were in like if he was, the University of Illinois, that storyline won't work. But in Wisconsin,
Mhm.
like that that's everything, man, in Madison. What
Yeah.
else you got? You got the Packers and Green Bay like 2 hours away. Like you don't got
Mhm.
much going on in Madison.
No, you don't.
You're
It's,
protecting your football team.
that's for sure. So as Jeremy says, Panthers are on the clock.
Yeah, and Mahomes
They're
walking around with the Lombardi. See,
yeah.
I like Mahomes, man.
Mhm.
I think it's a great story. Again, we're talking like it's good transition to like an Anthony Richardson.
Mhm.
Mahomes had all the physical tools. In fact, people are just like, oh, he's a great arm, great mind, but they
Mhm.
just didn't picture, him being the
Yeah.
top quarterback. So it's just like, hey,
Mhm.
it's a great story for him. I just wish that they just weren't in first place every freaking year in the AFC.
Yeah.
The one year that they struggled, they still made it to the AFC Championship. So and they lost to Joe Burrow again. I think every person outside of the state of Missouri was cheering for the Joe
Mhm.
Burrow Bengals. So I mean,
Yeah.
um, it's just unfortunate that like even without Tyreek Hill, there's that offense is just ridiculous. But man,
Yeah.
it's a cool story for the NFL that again he didn't go till the teens.
Yeah.
Or was 11? It might have been 11 or whatever, but still.
Yeah. With that said, though, we're gonna bring in another good friend of ours, and you know this guy, and bring
The
on the
ginger?
whole Buck What You Heard crew,
Oh
and
no, it's Gene! I
my
haven't seen
man,
Gene in so long.
What's
my
going
man,
on,
Gene
guys?
Thomas. Yeah, it's
How
good
you
to
No,
guys
see you.
to
doing?
everyone, it's not that I haven't seen Gene or talked to Gene. I've just been on hiatus.
Yeah,
But this is the
me
first time
too.
I've actually seen Gene in like 2 months, so I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah.
How's
Gene,
everybody
welcome.
doing?
Oh, we're doing
Better
great,
now.
man. Yeah, very awesome. Happy to have you on with us. So this is just this is very cool for me because usually I'm coming on your guys' show, and now I have both of you on my show, which is awesome. So,
Yeah,
Gene,
man,
how you? Yeah,
this is painful to watch. I'm watching this, and I have to see Patrick Mahomes come up and Travis
You
Kelsey, and
came perfect time because that's exactly what I was feeling. I was like, I'm happy for Mahomes, but I'm starting. It's like the Brady effect a little bit. I'm getting a little tired of it.
mhm,
yeah, again, that he's got so many years ahead of him. We'll see how this all plays out. It's going to be interesting. Um, with free agency is the wild card. You never know what's going to happen from year to year. And so, this is getting me in the mood for football now. I'm
Mm.
getting pretty excited about it right now, actually. Been kind of just checking out what everybody's been saying. Plus, you've been really putting out some really great articles, keeping me educated on everything that's going on. I really hope that the Bucs can address the offensive line. Or the trenches in general, whether it's either side. I mean, that's what I'm really hoping for. That they can get some people that can come in and contribute.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you want to find guys that can play right away. That's obviously the goal. But you also want to, make sure you're taking the right player, the right player that fits what you want to do schematically. The biggest thing. And, I know if you guys saw our stream last year with the Logan Hall selection, and I don't think we weren't live for this, I don't think. But we were talking about him, and yeah, I could understand as far as traits and like he has all the tools that you want. But the issue was he didn't do what you wanted as far as schematically goes. He didn't do it well.
Right.
And that's why
the eyeball test for most people. Like that's basically what Pless is saying. Like he looks great, in gym shorts, but it didn't really show when you're playing at University of Houston. You at least want to see those highs.
I think he's got the physical tools. I think a lot of the issues, the deficiencies that I saw are coachable. These are things that, if he goes in an off season and works on his game, I think that he'll be in quite a better position this year coming up.
What's PUBG, by the way? What is that?
I think it's like some type of game that,
I feel like I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with it. But apparently it's like a very cool game that people go into. So yeah. But David, welcome. Appreciate you all the support and watching us. It's gonna be a long show, guys, so buckle in. Gonna be here for a while. So if you have to take, bathroom breaks or whatever, go ahead. Go ahead and do it. But yeah,
I might even go outside at some point. It's been raining. It was raining all day up here in North Carolina. And so it kind of stopped. So it's just been like that cool, like a little bit breezy, but it's not. It's like that perfect 65 degrees, the breeze.
Absolutely.
So I might take you guys out on the porch or something.
Okay. Gotta love it.
Oh yeah, definitely time to enjoy it. I'm enjoying the weather where I'm at. It's very lovely here. Yeah, I mean it's just really nice to be, near the water. And have a vacation because it's been a long time since I've taken a vacation.
It's crazy how the water just calms.
Oh yeah,
it always does. It always does. So it looks like Carolina is now on the clock. I think they're going to run the clock down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. My call is 9 minutes, so they're going to do it with 1 minute left. Just to appease the NFL and their sponsors.
Yeah, as long as was it Tice? Tice was the general manager that ran out of time or something like that for Minnesota.
Yeah, he was
he did it 2 years in a row or something like that.
Yeah. The pick is in now officially, so
okay.
It looks like it's going to be Bryce Young, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, ESPN's talking about Bryce Young a bunch. That's all I know.
Yeah. They still have Chris Mortensen on there, man. He's poor guy. He's lost a lot of weight. Obviously dealing with stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Are you watching NFL Network or are you on ESPN?
I'm on ESPN currently.
Okay.
Yeah, you're about 20 seconds ahead of me then because I just got Pickers in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm taking a break from YouTube TV for 2 months, and I think YouTube TV is the best. I think they're always streaming.
So
dude. When I was watching Bucs games, it would be on track with Greg Allman. So Greg probably watches the play and then tweets. So that takes about 20, 30 seconds.
Right.
I would be matched up with all of his tweets.
Really?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got an email about NFL Sunday tickets, so I've been kind of
going
back and forth. Going back and forth.
Gene, I will say YouTube TV was the best experience that I've had. I've used Spectrum for TV. I've used Verizon. I've used Hulu. YouTube, it's the most easiest to use, man. Too.
So I have to ask you, with Prime on Thursday, I love the Thursday night football games, just because of all the information they gave you. Do you get that kind of thing with YouTube TV?
No, so Prime's exclusively through Prime.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about like some of the other the
No.
sports try. Yeah,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it
well-
remains to be seen. I mean, who knows with the NFL ticket, you know, going to
Oh, I didn't
going
even
to
think
YouTube.
about the with the Sunday ticket. You probably would.
Yeah, maybe they'll offer it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because I've never had NFL Sunday ticket.
Mhm.
But
I've always had it since I moved here. I've always had to get it. You know, just
I
so
think
can
you're
watch
gonna have a
everything.
great experience with it. Plus, it looks like someone's walking up right now. For me, is anyone walking?
Goodell is
Goodell's
at the
up.
podium. Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. There's
So my TV is ahead of you guys. So
and I see a pick.
I won't spoil the pick, but
No, spoil.
it
Who
is
it?
it is
It
who
is
we
Bryce
thought it
Young.
was. Yeah, so it's
Good.
gonna be Bryce Young out of Alabama.
Yeah, it just showed for me. Cool.
Yeah. So Gene, what do you think of this pick? How do you feel with him going to Carolina?
I love what they're doing. I love the coaching staff. I love how they're building it up. This is a far cry from the Matt Rule regime. I still wish that Steve Wilkes had got had opportunity to do something, but you know what they have right now. You know, they're building for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ken, any thoughts on that as far as Carolina?
Yeah, other than trading again DJ Moore, I'm with Gene. I think everything that they've done this offseason has been as good as you can ask. And then now you got the QB, the best QB in this draft at least. You know, is he the best QB if we want to take next year's class over the past 5 years? Probably not. But you're taking a guy with a lot of upside who's worked with playmakers, has worked with a great, you know, mind. Nick Saban prepares a lot of players to be good in the NFL. He obviously not beat out. You know, he's coming off of two attack level lower, who he also learned under. So I mean, like, there's a lot of good things to like with Bryce Young. And as a Bucs fan, I think it's just sad to see that. But the nice thing is, you're not going to hear too much from the Panthers from a draft standpoint, you know, tomorrow and next year because of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, in comparison, I love his demeanor. I think that he's a guy that he hasn't really had to play from behind a lot, so it's going to be interesting to see how
how that affects them. How
will that work with him?
Well, and then everyone wants to talk. Everyone's dinging CJ Stroud for that test. You know, not the Wonderlic, the other one. But again, when we're talking, it's like, you know, dating a little bit. Like, you know, you're making those check marks. Like, hey, he's checking this box. He's checking. Like, that's what Bryce Young is. There's the only box that isn't ticked is his weight and his height. And the weight's the one that's more concerning. The height in the modern NFL, I don't think is that big of a deal. He was playing behind 6'5", 6'6" offensive lineman in Bama. So I mean, it's the weight. You know, hey, if he gets hit by, let's say, Will Anderson, Jadeveon Clowney, you know, how quickly is he going to get up? That's the only question with Bryce Young. Will he stay healthy?
Yeah. And I've been kind of following him. I like what they're doing with their offensive line.
Kid.
I still think. Yeah. I think they need to do a little bit more with their offensive line, but I think, you know, him being mobile will help them, and he seems to be a great decision maker as well. So that's definitely going to benefit Carolina in a lot of ways.
And he's tough too. I mean, he was playing through some games last year. Tennessee, injuries, for instance, comes to mind. Injuries. He's played through them. So again, he's going to get injured. Will it keep him out long? That's going to be his only question mark, really, in my eyes.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. And when I was looking at, you know, when I was watching the film, he was the number one QB on my board as far as just looking at all the other guys and like the consistency. And you have to factor in the
Texans picks is in already. Holy moly! Sorry.
You're
surprised.
Good. No, you're good. Texans Texans pick is in. They were ready to go. Will this be Will Anderson or will this be a quarterback? But obviously, whoever it is, they want him very badly because the pick is in. But just
to me, that was the pick you field. You know, hey, you've been talking to people for weeks, but you let those calls come in.
Right. But you know, just to wrap up, Bryce Young to Carolina, you know, he was clear the number one QB in my eyes, just from decision making, arm strength.
Where was he overall for you? Plus, like top 3, top 5.
He was one of the top players. He was definitely in the top 10 for sure. Just a very good player at the quarterback position, and that's a position that's very hard to find. And so, you know, with Carolina, that obviously makes them tougher. As a Bucs fan going up against them now,
Oh yeah.
that's going to make it more intriguing, and that will definitely raise their level of play because they have that quarterback in place. Will that be this year? We don't know. There's a lot of changes within the organization, and how quickly can they put things together. But definitely down the road, they're going to be someone to watch and someone that you're going to have to compete with. So yeah, that will be something this year that will be fun to see how the Bucs defense goes up against him and how they defend him and find ways to slow him down.
Because honestly, the Carolina Panthers are an unknown right now.
Yeah.
I mean, new coach, new quarterback, just
Right.
a totally new scheme. There's no film on it. So on the team, so you don't know,
Right.
you don't know what you don't know. I mean, it's going to be kind of an unknown the first couple of times facing them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing CJ Stroud on Twitter as number 2. Is that confirmed?
Not yet.
That could be correct. And if that is, man, that's again another good pick. I like Stroud. I had him, in the top 3 of the quarterbacks. I think Anthony Richardson, his upside is just absurd. But you look at CJ Stroud and his consistency, very accurate quarterback. That would be.
Yeah, I have the Athletics saying CJ Stroud's the pick. So
Okay. That's pretty much confirmation. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
and
there
it's
you go.
not without the blue check mark. It was usually hard to be sure, but I'm looking at the official 397,000 followers. This looks legit to me.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
you're
have
right, KB. It is CJ Stroud. So
Yep, and I have to ask you guys: are you guys going to buy your blue check mark?
No.
To me, it's just not work. What I'd want is to be able to edit my tweet. You guys know how bad I am with typos. So I mean, I'm more interested in the editing of the tweet than I am the actual check mark. Because man, like now, in lying season, if this was live 2 months ago, we'd have all those fake or a couple of months, like all those fake accounts saying, hey, this person's signing somewhere.
Right.
That stuff just annoys me, and it's also, from a news standpoint, again, I could have clicked on someone with the name The Athletic 1 is their @ and that, and it has a blue check mark, so it's just
This has got to be an exciting time. I mean, here you are, and you're number 2 pick in the draft.
I like his outfit too. And,
yeah, me too.
It's kind of Texans theme, so maybe he knew. Like those colors are very reminiscent of Texas.
He definitely knew.
He's got. I like the suit and then the bling coming down.
Yeah, it's not Floyd Mayweather-esque, but it's nice. It's big.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hyped too. Look at him with the crowd.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, very accurate passer. Again, not the strongest arm, but it's strong enough, and he has, I think, more mobility than. Most people look at him at tape on tape. He didn't really show it, but
his 2021 was better than 2022. But that Georgia game, it's like with Vita Vea. Like I wasn't a huge. I liked the Vita Vea to pick, but he didn't show consistency.
Right.
I think CJ Stroud had it the year before. Last year it was kind of up and down. He's got. I think he has better receivers than Bryce Young had in Bama, for instance. But that Georgia game was nuts.
Yeah,
that was the championship game.
It really was.
And literally the final kick was at midnight. So it was like perfect. Obviously he lost, but it was perfect.
Yeah. Jeremy's saying there could be a trade here at 3, potentially Tennessee.
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins better not be involved in that pick. So we obviously we're talking about Mike Florio's. I just threw it out there earlier, Gene. Mike Florio is trying to say the Cardinals want to trade back from 3 to 11 and give up DeAndre Hopkins. And I'm like, what is Tennessee going to have? Like, are they trading Jeffrey Simmons in this deal? Like,
I do not know. That doesn't make any sense.
That's my point. It makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
But Tennessee has been like playing. They've just been odd the last.
Imagine choosing Ryan Tannehill over Tom Brady. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, these are two franchises. I mean, Tennessee has been, it's been up and down for them, and then Arizona's just been a mess, as far as organizationally and top to bottom, it's been kind of chaotic. So,
well, and again, I think they missed on a lot of opportunities. Obviously, I don't think Steve Keim is a good GM, and obviously, light comes from that tree a little bit. But like, I think they had like again, what's the defensive end for the Eagles who completely went off?
Son Reddick or
Son Reddick was drafted as to be an inside linebacker who had never played inside linebacker before, and that's your GM making that pick.
Made no sense.
So like, and again, he goes to Carolina as an edge, and when he did play edge in Carolina or Arizona, he did great. Goes to Carolina, absolutely destroys as an edge, and goes to the Eagles where he's with more talent. So obviously he's gonna flourish. And I mean, again, that's just to me is an organization issue. Lightning just scored again. Let's go.
Yeah. Lightning up 2-1.
I know the second period start.
So that's awesome. Jeremy, we appreciate the updates. It looks like it was next year's first rounder, but I don't know. I'm watching ESPN. I haven't seen any like changes yet as far as like
I got 2 minutes 50 seconds on the clock, and
so
they have to be moving out. I don't see how.
Yeah. So Jeremy, let us know if that's been confirmed. It looks like it is. Now I see Adam Schefter on the TV, so it looks like there's a trade. So
this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And this is pretty much where the draft starts, right? At 3, we were all expecting, some type of trade, some type of move back because, Arizona obviously feels confident in Kyler Murray.
The Texans are the ones trading up, according to Adam Schefter.
Oh, wow.
They're taking 2 and 3, baby.
Oh, my.
Let's go.
That is
Let's
crazy.
go.
Wow, so they're going to get Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud.
I imagine what it's probably going to be is next year's one, and maybe like a 3 or something this year.
Wow, that's crazy.
So are they doing this for Kyler Murray, or what do you? Well, I don't know what they're going to get out of this. I'm never mind. I'm just the whole Kyler Murray thing is really a head scratcher for me.
If they take Will Anderson here and you come out with the best or second best QB or whatever, and the top edge, which I think are their 2 biggest needs.
Yeah,
they're in a pretty weak division, man.
Yeah,
if it works out, it works out.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And
crazy.
Again, sorry, Gene, to your Cardinals. We want they're coming off hosting the Super Bowl, but I think that's probably going to be their next opportunities the next time they host that Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, trade pick to the Texans. And I'll try to see what the compensation is, but obviously it's going to be.
I'm on the record. I think it's going to be a 3, and I think it's going to be next year's 1.
Yeah, multiple picks for sure. Obviously, Arizona gets 12 back.
I think that's perfect for them. They could go wide receiver if they're going to trade Hopkins. They can go O-line. I think that's a good place to be for them.
Right.
And because they have so many needs. Hey, just acquire that capital, man.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's now at 12 corner. You could take the best offensive lineman like you. Yeah, definitely it's a smart move. You get more assets for next year where it's a better draft class. Yeah, definitely. Could help you out, and hopefully, Kyler Murray, turns things around, gets back to.
But if
where
he doesn't, you have an out and you have a trade up because you're going to get whatever compensation for Murray, and then you'd have the compensation trade up.
I don't know. I just don't see Kyler Murray with the injuries that he's had and the timing that he's had the injuries. They just haven't really done the Cardinals any favors.
No, I agree with that. I think organizationally they're just they're a mess.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
They are. So did you? I was reading a story where Kyler Murray wanted Tristan Wirfs. They wanted the Cardinals to go after Tristan Wirfs, and he went to ownership and said, "Get me Tristan Wirfs," and they didn't. And so I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
and it seems like the high-end offensive linemen that he's wanted have ended up going to another team and flourish. I guess there was like 2 seasons in a row where he wanted a specific offensive lineman, and they ended up not listening to him and going in a different direction. So
the the Cardinals just traded a third and a fifth for the Eagles' third. They moved up like 30 spots. That's just from the Cardinals official account.
Yeah,
1.1 million followers.
Random.
That's
trade.
random, man.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find. Oh, Cardinals get 12-33 for. Oh my God, first in 2024 and third in 2024, and the Texans get 3 and 105. That's a haul, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Will Anderson,
good.
there you go.
But it's worth it, getting Will Anderson. That's pretty awesome. So,
I mean, they basically just traded QB compensation for Will Anderson. Yeah. But I do think he's going to come in. And again, what I said last year, last year I forgot his name. It was Kayvon Thibodeau, is who I just penciled in for the Texans last year. And now I think they got I think Kayvon Thibodeau is a great player. I think Will Anderson's going to come in and be that. And they didn't have to trade up for the quarterback. So I think
they didn't have to reach.
You talk about important positions, edge and quarterback, done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's what you look for. You look for elite positions. You look for premium positions, and that's what Bryce Young and Will Anderson is for sure. Will Anderson is one of the elite players that I saw on tape in my studies. And again, I was telling Ken, he's only one of 3 elite players in this class. So you have Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, and then Bijan Robinson. And so, to get him at 3, that's a win for the Texans. Yeah. And now, you look at Indianapolis being up here. Has to be quarterback, I would assume, but do they like Anthony Richardson or Will Levis enough to take one? So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, quarterback has to go here.
Yeah. And also Will Levis is a guy that he's better than most people think. I think he gets a bad rap because he did really well in 2021.
I think he needs half a season is what that's my take is. I think CJ Stroud, a good indicator for quarterback success comes down to games played. Again, that's why that kid from San Francisco, granted he was Mr. Irrelevant, but he had a lot of snaps,
Right.
For Will Levis, he has the talent. I don't like his choice in terms of putting mayo on shit, but his coffee. But I mean, the tools are undeniable. And Anthony Richardson, it's tools in a completely different sense. So it's just hey, what's more important to you? I think it's going to be Will Levis because I do follow Michael Pittman Jr. very closely. Again, he has the connection with our great Bucs, but I love just looking at what him and his brother are doing and kind of getting those inside scoops on what it is to be a professional and college athlete, as they're both YouTubers. And they both had a podcast recently, and Michael's brother was grilling him about quarterback. So I know this is going to be quarterback, and I think Will Levis, just from that standpoint, has a better chance of getting Michael the ball. I think it's going to match up with their weird ass fucking GM and owner. So it's just I think that marriage works with Levis, and I think Anthony Richardson's going to be the fun one. Where the fuck is he going to go? Sorry for the language.
Oh no, you're fine.
Because he could go at 5, he could go at 31. Tell me what's too far off between Lamar Jackson and Anthony Richardson. Lamar was the better prospect. Lamar went 32.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. Yeah, for sure. I think with Richardson, his upside is just
he's going before pick 10 is my guess. But
yeah, I think you got to look at obviously the next pick. Seattle, I think could be intriguing. You look at Las Vegas as well.
I think Detroit is going to be
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit could be an option. But the pick is in for Indianapolis, so we'll see who this is going to be.
Here we go.
Yep. So they're talking to Will Anderson right now as well. He's very excited. That's a hell of a move by the Texans. I think that was worth it, especially
in those positions, man.
The draft room, the Colts draft room looks like church. Looks like they're all in church right now, and they're listening to a sermon. It does.
If there is an organization who does, that's probably them, man.
Yeah.
And their owner's freaking weird, man. He's weird. And again, he did the whole thing with Jeff Saturday last year. That's his decision.
Yeah, that was not good.
No, I like their GM. I'm forgetting his name, but it all
Chris Ballard. Yeah, Chris Ballard's good.
Chris Ballard, but it's an ownership led team. Let's be real there.
Right. Yep. So yeah, the pick is in for Indianapolis, and I agree with Ken. I think it's going to be probably Will Levis. But yeah, I just saw the draft room, Gene. They definitely look like they're at a church.
I scrolled back as soon as he said it, and I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, that's accurate. That's a good call. Very good call. So, yeah, awesome. So
wait, this draft's in Kansas City, right?
Yeah, Kansas City.
It's crazy. I like couldn't tell. Like they did in Nashville like a year or two ago or whatever. I like that they're changing cities, man. I dig this. I think it's
so who's up next year?
I think next year
is Vegas because Vegas got moved back.
Yeah, Vegas, that's right, because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to me. I think whoever hosts the Super Bowl,
Vegas,
they should get the draft because that's basically the start of the football season. And then you get introduced to the host city and you get to know a little bit about them. But I guess it's only fair because there are places like Kansas City's never going to host a Super Bowl unless they get like a dome or something like that. And then still it's cold climate. So,
yeah. Well, here's Anthony Richardson at 4. Yeah. Which again makes a lot of sense.
That's the upside, man. Like again, who's going to be the next, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, I think is a better chance with A-Rich than Levis. But I thought Levis was just is more of a culture thing for how organizations run. But, when your quarterback can do backflips, when your quarterback, again, he's probably the second fastest QB to come out, other than Lamar and probably the best ever. So again, if you're talking about like Madden ratings, this could be a 99 club someday. You know what I mean? Just from raw tools.
Yeah,
so.
Richardson is a fun prospect. Again, when I watched him on tape, I think he got a lot of bad rap as well because you look at his processing. I thought it was good. Yes, the mechanics needs work. The consistency has to be there, but he was also around a very bad supporting cast. It was not good at all. And he was trying to do a lot of things on his own. And he showed a lot of good stuff on tape when you really break it down. The processing was there. And he's also a natural fit for what this new coaching staff for Indianapolis is going to do. I mean, they coach Jalen Hurts. Anthony Richardson can do similar things that Jalen did as far as, RPOs and stuff like that. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense for him to go here. And I think it's a good pick. Again, you're going for the home run. You're taking that swing, and in this draft, you gotta do that. You gotta do it.
So it's going to be interesting. So it looks like
this doesn't look viable, but I see someone saying the Vikings are moving up, but I don't see any confirmation there. To people who don't know, I generally try to find like a Greg Auman for like each team is kind of like what I do. So that I just don't trust this one.
Man, without the blue check, man, Muskie kind of messed this up this year. He should have waited till next year to do this.
Right. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah. He's a character.
Yeah, he is. So I'm seeing a lot of people already calling him a bust in my Twitter sphere here.
Who, A-Rich?
Yeah.
No.
Can't be a bust yet. He hasn't played.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like Bo Jackson being a bust for the Bucs, and he never even signed a contract. I mean, that literally just.
Oh, people are saying Jalen Carter's the pick.
Okay,
I'm seeing a lot of consensus in Seattle land right now.
Yeah, no, that's a smart pick. Again, one of the elite players in this class, and you get him at 5. And I know there's all of the things that he's been going through off the field, and obviously you got to look into that, but.
Very interesting for Detroit, though, if that is indeed the pick. I thought he would have been a great fit for them. I mean, if you want a knee biter, kneecapper, I mean, Jalen Carter on the inside with that talent on that defense.
Right.
Woo! Yeah, Jalen Carter's. It's not locked in yet, but that's what, or at least on my screen, it's not saying pick is in. but I'm seeing a lot of consensus here. And then some blue check marks for like actual, like, reporters.
So what they've got, these people have gone out and purchased the blue check, I'm guessing. That's going to be a sore subject for me for a long time, just because it's
And it's crazy too. I mean, if we're going to get off football here for a second, it's firing 75% of the staff at Twitter, and then, again, having all of these unverified. And again, it's like you're a celebrity, but what's really a celebrity? And like, for instance, they verified Kobe Bryant's Twitter. And again, I'm not trying to say anything weird or bad or anything, but is verifying Kobe Bryant helpful to society?
Dude, it's trolling. That's all it is. This guy is just enjoying himself. He's just triggering people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've seen a lot of people that are like, I'm getting off Twitter because he took my blue check mark. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. You still have your fans. I mean, it's not like he got rid of all your followers or anything like that.
Yep.
So,
is the pick in for you plus?
No, I haven't seen it for Seattle. There's still.
I got 240 left on the clock.
Yeah,
I have 220. I'm at 224.
I have it at 2:05, so I'm a little bit quicker than you guys. But anyway, I just want to say again, everyone who's joining us, again, hit that like button. Again, we have Ken Barrett and Gene Thomas here from Buck What You Heard. So give them, share their stuff, watch their content. Very good, knowledgeable insights as far as the Buccaneers go and across the league as far as NFL. So again, you're here with us live here on Real Bucs Talk. We much appreciate everyone. Bring the questions, bring anything you guys want to discuss. Obviously, it's going to be a while until the Buccaneers are up. So we still have a ways to go, and there could be again more trades. All that stuff's going to probably happen within the next couple hours. So that will be intriguing. But looking at Seattle, very, very interesting to see where they go here. But yeah, I think Jalen Carter would make a lot of sense, especially getting more beef up the middle, and you want to add more pass rush.
I personally think unless they are really sold on Geno for the foreseeable future, I think that they're low-key pissed that A-Rich went to Indy. Because if there was a guy for him to like kind of sit under and, A-Rich be able to like learn from,
right.
I think, the pros and cons of Geno, and if anything bad happened with Geno, I think not saying he's going to be Russell Wilson, but like you can envision the success there. But yeah.
No
wait, what is the pick in for you plus, since you like
it is now. So it looks like it's most likely going to be Jalen Carter, in my opinion. And obviously, that's what Twitter's probably saying as well.
ML now it's changing to Devin Witherspoon.
Oh wow! Okay, I can see
now
that.
it's getting pretty consensus on Devin. It's about 50-50 now on Devin Witherspoon and Jalen Carter.
Okay, yeah, Witherspoon again, another prospect that I really like, and they could use another corner opposite of the rookie. What's his name? Tyreek Woolen, I think it was.
Woolen, that's it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that is awesome. And obviously Seattle has a history of drafting, defensive backs with the Legion of Boom, and, getting a guy like Devin Witherspoon, who's kind of has that Richard Sherman-esque in his game where he's nasty, likes to talk trash, and obviously get in people's faces. Yeah, I like that if that's going to be the decision that they go. And that kind of sucks for Detroit, because Detroit is probably looking at a corner at 6. But if Jalen Carter's there at 6, that probably helps him out even more, because you pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson, and that's pretty cool.
I'm seeing a lot of now. It's where it was Jalen Carter. Everything that I saw now, everything is Devin Witherspoon.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm waiting for a rapper or Schefter to confirm.
So Cody from C3 Podcast. He's calling him Bryce. He said, "Bryce up, son." You remember Steve Smith when he said that to Aqib Talib? He said, "Ice up, son." So now they've got this Bryce up, son, for the
Well, all I'm going to say is I hate Steve Smith with a burning passion, but I also love him because now he's forever trolled in my brain after that Detroit slaughter that we had. And he said basically that we sucked and we were nothing.
Yeah. So it looks like it is Devin Weatherspoon. So that's awesome for him to be a top 10 selection, top 5 selection. Well worth it. When you watch his tape, it was so easy to watch because he was so consistent. Very good corner. Can play press or zone, do a lot of different things. It brings nasty to the field, which is always awesome. So that's really cool to see.
Does it show on your screen plus that it's Devin?
Yeah, it just showed it now.
Cool.
So yeah, it just showed it now. So
if I'm Detroit,
you take Jalen Carter. Yeah.
Yes, you do. You slide that puppy in because I'm gonna look at their roster real quick. I can't think of a really good D tackle that they have right now.
Right.
So yeah, Isaiah Buggs and Alem McNeil. Yeah, slide that puppy in.
This is definitely an upgrade.
Yeah, they run to the podium for this pick. Because I
think they can solve corner in day 2.
Well, you got to remember they have pick 18 as well. So,
I forgot about 18 because So they also have 2 seconds because of the Hawkinson trade too.
Right. So they
have to
plenty
ask
of
you
room.
guys. With this pick being made, and we kind of have an idea about Detroit. Not to get too far ahead, but really interested in what you guys think Las Vegas is going to do. They've been in disarray.
That might be. If they didn't sign Jimmy, I'd just hand them Levis. But they signed Jimmy. But his contract isn't the worst in terms of trying to get out of it. So
yeah, Las Vegas is in an intriguing spot.
They need everything.
Yeah, they do. They need defense. They need, offensive line could use.
Well, that's what happens when you take players who no longer play in the NFL in the first round, or you literally waste 3 first-round picks. When you have 3 first-round picks and Josh Jacobs, who's the third guy you took, was the best player out of that haul, and until last season, Josh Jacobs was kind of whatever.
Yeah,
like he's a running back 2 or 3 in fantasy. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not what you draft in the first round. And obviously, we know they did us a favor with the Devin White. And taking the edge player, I can't even think of his name because I thought there was no way that they would pass on even Josh Allen for that game.
Right.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Cleveland Farrell from Clemson. Yep, for sure.
If I'm the Lions, I am sliding this pick in. It is because again, we're mentioning all this day 1 and 2 capital that they have. Why I know Jalen Carter has his bugaboos right now. But you have the capital to not hit on it and still be okay.
Yeah. They've already look at him. They're high-fiving. He's high-fiving everybody. See, and
it's crazy. The draft seems to work out for them. They seem to get some good players that fall to them.
Oh, Seattle, yeah, for sure.
I was talking about
Detroit. But Detroit as well. Yeah, Detroit's. I think.
Well, Seattle for like literally 10 years never drafted players in the first round, or they would just trade back 15 picks and take Rashad Penny and then not play him.
Yeah.
Like that was their MO. They'd make it to 22, 23 and then straight back down to.
But didn't Rashad Penny had a lot of injury issues early on?
But that's my point but they also had Chris Carson who outplayed him even when he was healthy, and who they drafted in the 6th. So it's just like, until last year, Chris Carson owned that entire, Rashad Penny's length in Seattle.
Yep.
So he didn't even really get the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys know me. I think I've told you guys before, how much I really like Dan Campbell. He was, he was my pick to replace when they fired Dirk Cutter. I really like Dan Campbell. I thought he would be a home run pick as far as a head coach. And then I think we hired Bruce Arians, and then Dan Campbell came in later on for Detroit. But yeah, I just like his mentality. I like what he's building.
Give me Hard Knocks with him every freaking year.
Oh, it's so fun. Yeah. But I like him as a ball coach, and I think Detroit.
Well, and it's very Bruce Arians reminiscent. Look at all of these former players that are on his coaching staff.
Is this true? Is this the Cardinals are trading up? Is that
no? If that's true,
yep.
Oh,
they
wow.
are.
So trading back up to get Jalen Carter.
Interesting. So you get that haul,
or are they taking Tyree Wilson?
A good question.
Or are they taking
taking tackle
or a corner? Christian Gonzalez.
See, this is why they shouldn't trade up, is because we just named 5 different positions that they could use.
Yeah, Jeremy's got the compensation. They gave up 12 and 34, so a first and a second round pick.
But they basically they made more than that on their trade back.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Shout out to Jeremy. I appreciate you, man.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy. We appreciate the updates. So yeah, Detroit moves back, and actually that makes sense for Detroit. Now Detroit could take, a corner that makes more sense at 12, or they could go, best edge rusher or, any other position, offensive line. It pretty much opens up the table.
Yeah, it's wide open right now.
It could also open the door for a receiver because of Jamison Williams being suspended. So, that's also,
I don't think this trade up's for Jalen Carter though. So this is
probably Christian Gonzalez.
Wild.
Yeah. Or it could be Paris Johnson. We saw that hype about him going at 3. It could be one of those guys.
Yeah.
But already a draft full of like movement, which is always fun. Obviously,
I love this. Yeah.
Obviously, Texans have already won the draft with what they've done. I think getting 2 really good players with their trades, and now Detroit moving back, Cardinals moving up. Which I think
the Texans just being so aggressive is just crazy.
Yeah.
But I love it though, because what and you're talking about Steve Wilks earlier, Gene. What he really never really have as a chance, right? In Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, D'Amico's walking right in. They're being aggressive. They're getting consensus players early in the draft. And because they've been so bad, they still have extra draft capital. And they have a great left tackle. They have pieces like they did the Lovie Smith, and I forgot the coach's name before it. That was the wide receivers coach for Baltimore. Like what they basically did was they just signed all of these, think of it like, like low level 1 to 2 year contract free agents. So he can just come in and inflect the roster that he wants. He's not beholden to what the previous GMs did that was really bad.
Yeah, I love this comment by G Vegas. He says Texans did get 2 very important players. D'Amico Ryans is slamming his junk on the table. Yeah, absolutely. So it's awesome.
And in terms of defensive head coaches, like, no offense to Todd Bowles, but to me, it's like D'Amico Ryans seems to check all those boxes, man. No. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Paris Johnson Jr. is who I'm seeing right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it looks
but then again, I was wrong earlier, so don't.
No, I think you might be right here. The selection's about to. Yeah, it's going to be Paris Johnson. So, and again,
Kyler gets what he wants.
You can't hate that pick because again, it's offensive line, it's offensive tackle, premium position, and obviously they need offensive line help to help protect Kyler Murray, and you got to listen to your quarterback.
And again, they missed it. Remember, they had the perfect spot to take the fourth, one of the 4 tackles in 2020, and they never did. Like Gene mentioned earlier, they had and now it's 3 years later, and your QB's coming off an ACL.
Because he's having to run for his life all the time.
Oh, Vegas! This is going to be a fun one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, does Vegas take quarterback, or do they roll the dice and take Jalen Carter, who's the best player on the board? But
it's Josh McDaniels. Man.
Is Jalen Carter going to fall out of the top 10? Thank you, sir. Talking to my bartender here. He's doing a great job.
Well, he better treat Shane Falco well, or the entire United States will hate him.
Yeah, Shane Falco is easily my favorite quarterback, like movie quarterback. Like I just love that guy. It's awesome.
Exactly.
And I'm a huge John Wick fan, so like, I just saw the.
How many times have you seen it?
I've seen John Wick 4 twice already, and I love it. Like it was better.
It was the perfect culmination of like. See, I actually saw it with our friend Josh Capo, and I didn't see John Wick 3, and it was just like, hey, like I'd seen 1 and 2. I get the gist. Like I thought the first one was
Yeah.
This is how good
perfect.
John Wick 4 was so good. You could have done without 3.
It's what you want in a sequel, let alone the third sequel.
Yeah.
Like it's everything that was just like in this universe that you want and you love. But the story they told was so compelling. You were drawn, it involved people from the past, invited some new characters.
Right.
You hated the villain just as much as the puppy killer in the first one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that kid, he had to go. He had to.
I'm not gonna lie. So there's 2 things that I stopped. Well, 3 things. So there's Yellowstone. They shoot the horse.
Oh yeah.
There's House of Cards where Kevin Spacey kills the dog, and then there's John Wick where the dog dies. All 3 things I had to stop as soon as that happened. At least take a couple days before I revisited and tried to forget that it happened.
That's funny.
That was crazy. But I like the scene because we've already seen it. But maybe there may be some people, but there was a scene with the dog where the dog was about to get shot. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but you kind of see a theme throughout all the John Wick movies about animals, and animals are a little bit more important out there. So it just made it great.
Yes, David, I am wearing a Shane Falco jersey. I don't know if I can get this on the screen, but yes, it is
What's their mascot in the movie? I'm blanking.
Number 16. I think they're just the Washington. Is it Washington Sentinels?
Yeah, Sentinels. It's what I wanted the Washington football team to become. That's
right. Yeah.
I wanted the Washington Generals.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been awesome.
But I guess they would have had to get permission from the Harlem Globetrotters, I'm guessing, to make that happen.
Yeah.
I need to go. I want to see. Have you guys heard of the Savannah Bananas? So they're basically the Harlem Globetrotters for baseball.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Are they the ones that like dance and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, they dance, but they also, like, for instance, I saw a clip of like this, like when you go to like Hollow Scream and there's people on those like stilts.
Yeah.
Like there was someone swinging at a game on one of those stilts and running down the first baseline and like actually got like a hit.
Are they the ones
Johnny
that
Damon
did
played
the weekend? Are they the ones that did the Weekend at Bernie's, where the guy got hit by the pitch, and they put the sunglasses on him, and they put his arms around him.
Oh yes, they carried him to first base.
Yeah,
that's them.
Yeah, they're hilarious. And I was wondering why the pitcher didn't hit somebody with the next at bat. So I figured out. I just now realized that I would watch them. I would actually pay money to go see them.
Well, and the thing is, because they try to keep like their treat themselves like a minor league team where like tickets are like super cheap, but they're going to like every venue in the United States that has like a baseball field. So like their tickets are like impossible to get. It's like the Taylor Swift concert. It's like everyone like has one, but everyone's looking for a ticket. And I didn't even know who they were till like 2 months ago, because I never really scrolled TikTok or anything. So like I still don't have TikTok, but like YouTube and Instagram have like their own TikTok version things.
Well,
so that's how I found them, and now I'm like addicted. I was like, I want to see these people.
I'm guilty. But I only use TikTok for recipes. So Donnie, what's going on, buddy? That's the only reason I use TikTok. No lie. I mean, anything that comes up is like, here's how you make this recipe, and that's what pops up. So that's kind of how I use it. Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, pick is in.
Jimmy G.
The black hole's looking kind of small.
You know what? I like Josh McDaniels when he had Tim Tebow. I don't like this combination of him and Jimmy. Like, I can't root for them ever. I wish they just hired Rich Bisaccia. Like, that would have been so fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think he does.
I'm seeing Edge Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, they need pretty much everything, and defensively, they need guys that can affect the passer, especially when you're in a division where you face Patrick Mahomes and you have Russell Wilson there.
Do we want to trust them? No, I don't want to say NFL rumors what they have. Never mind.
Yeah, they're not trustworthy.
No, okay, now it's coming in Tyree Wilson. Okay, so the first person who was like a reporter had it right.
Yeah, that's a smart pick. Again, this guy, Tyree Wilson, there's a lot of highs, but there's also some lows in there. Some have called him like a boomer bust type player, but when you really look at his strengths, I think he's he's got a good floor. Actually,
Yep, it's confirmed. It's Tyree Wilson.
So, I mean, he can bring some stuff, and I think when you look at it, year 3, year 4 in his career, he could probably be a very good edge rusher for you. At least that's the hope for if you're the Raiders here with their pick.
Damn, Tyree going to Atlanta.
Vegas.
Is he going to Vegas? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just...
You had the right player. I think you just had the wrong team.
You're the wrong...
Atlanta's the next pick, though. Your favorite, Gene. We were talking about. I think it was who asked. What?
Could this be Jalen Carter? Oh boy!
Oh my God! If they had I mean, thank God we don't have Tom Brady anymore, because if Tom Brady was playing against the Falcons.
Yeah,
between those two, that ball coming out like that.
Yeah.
It better.
But I still think that they probably go edge. But
yeah,
that's interesting because we talked about the interior. So they got Calais Campbell. They have obviously Grady Jarrett, and they also picked up, who did I say was the third one? David Onyemata. Which we all hated him when he played for the Saints, but we all respected him because he was a good, low-key, underrated player. So that's their interior. So where's Jalen Carter? Is he going to start over Campbell?
But
maybe
you got to consider this isn't like the Calais Campbell from the Cardinals. This is Calais Campbell years later.
But they paid money for him. I mean, they didn't give him a massive contract, but imagine if you paid Shaq Barrett, but then drafted a guy in the first round. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's a nice dinner jacket, by the way. Oh, that's a nice suit.
Yeah,
no, he was swagged out. He was swagged out.
Yeah,
he pulls it off because I don't think anybody's going to step up to him and say anything otherwise.
He's a big dude.
That guy's he's a massive dude.
Yeah, a lot of power to his game. He's got good athleticism, obviously. So, and you're looking at his highs right here on the TV. So he can bring a lot to the table. It just needs a plan. He needs a pass rush plan, and obviously development. But it's a good pick for what Vegas needs and how they progress their team defensively. So now we're on.
And I think that's been the biggest struggle for Vegas is holding a lead.
Oh yeah, and defensively,
that's been the struggle, and it's flashbacks of the Bucs back in when you go back to 2010, 2011, where the Bucs would have leads even like 2012. He picked up Goodell Jesus.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw it yet.
I haven't seen it yet personally. I'm probably about to see it now. But
jeez.
Yeah, Goodell is getting a workout today with the.
Yep, and I'm telling you, he won't need a back adjustment this week.
Yeah, he's getting the bear hugs for sure.
I am seeing that no one's actually no reporters are saying anything for the Falcons, but I am seeing the scene in draft day that we were talking about earlier, where the GM of the Seahawks is, you see all the people outside with their what do you call them, picket fences, and they're ready to bombard them for not drafting the quarterback. If you just type Atlanta Falcons on Twitter, I swear to God, it's if they don't draft Jalen Carter, oh, I give up on this team. Do the right thing, at Atlanta Falcons. So the fans are telling you what they want.
Yeah. The pick is in for Atlanta, so obviously not wasting any time.
I think it's got to be either Carter or one of the edges.
Yeah, it could be Carter, an edge. Could be Bijan Robinson go here. Again, that's something that has been discussed. So, intriguing.
That's what it is.
Very interesting.
That's gotta be who it is.
Very interesting draft so far. Obviously, we got 3 quarterbacks inside the top 5, which is cool. Trades. So pretty much a little bit of everything so far in this draft, and Haven't seen any surprise names yet as far as like a top 10 consensus. I mean, Paris Johnson maybe a little higher than most thought, but for the most part, guys, all the players that have been selected so far were projected to go top 10. So
The Draft Network is reporting that it's Bijan Robinson. Let's go! I'm so happy.
There you go. Yeah, Bijan Robinson to Atlanta.
All right, Atlanta Falcons, enjoy the cellar, because even if the Bucs suck, I don't see how we can look any worse than y'all. I'm sorry. I'm literally putting my legs up because I was so nervous about this pick. And assuming the Draft Network's right, we have a lot of good friends. They have some good
Locked on Falcons. That's what Aaron Freeman in Atlanta is saying.
Let's freaking go, man. And I'm actually going to go to, because my new company, they have an office in Atlanta. So I'm going to try to go down there and meet everyone and go catch the Bucs game in Mercedes, which I found out Atlanta's screwed this weekend. So they have the Taylor Swift concert, and they also have, I forgot who it was, another huge concert, and the playoffs, all in the metro area, like this weekend.
Yeah.
Or I think it's tomorrow night, or tomorrow or Saturday, one of the 2 days. Like, yeah, they are. You're not going to be able to drive anywhere. If you're driving anywhere, avoid Atlanta, everyone. If you're flying anywhere, fly. Don't connect in Atlanta this weekend is what I've been told by literally everyone who works on the Southeast team on my team.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we got Ken's point of view for the pick. Gene, any thoughts?
My screaming wasn't good enough for you, Flex? It's not because, again, we talked about Bijan being a top 3 player in terms of just pure raw talent, but you have a couple good running backs. Why?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't need that.
Well, again, it goes back to my point. I was talking to you about, like, there's only so many elite players in this class. You add an elite player in Bijan Robinson, you feel like, and that's what I was talking about in our draft study. It's like Bijan Robinson is not just a running back. He's a star player. He's a guy that you can put out wide. You can do so many different things with him and use him as a weapon. And he's a complete back. So I
imagine if Philly gets Jalen Carter. I think Chicago's going offense.
That's the dream pick for Philadelphia.
But because Fletcher Cox going out, and they got the kid last year, the Vita Vea clone.
Yeah,
like, sorry, Gene. What's your feelings on Bijan Robinson?
You know what? When you look at what they're trying to do, they're trying to get some offensive firepower. I mean, just you kind of have to look around the NFC South to get an idea. I mean, you look at what Carolina's been trying to do and what they're putting together, and then the Bucs with the offensive firepower that you have there. It's just you're trying to keep up. And, trying to keep yourself in games as well. So I think it's a good pick. It's a good pick for them. I don't know if it's a need. I know you guys are pretty adamant about, picking players like that in the first round. So,
well, my Pletz is higher on Bijan than again. It's not like he's higher on me than me from like a player perspective, but I'm more, hey, you don't need to pick him at 8.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's my
it goes into, positional value, all that stuff. And again, that was a big thing for us when, talking Devin White at pick 5, positional value. It's like, you don't take a linebacker at 5, but again, the Buccaneers.
But when you do, he better be, again,
he better be a home run.
He better be a 99. Again, he's 99. He wasn't going to be a home run. We never thought he was going to be Derek Brooks, for instance.
Right.
But he better have 99 speed. He better, I think his mental, ability to process the game still isn't there yet. But we've seen the playoff run. That I'll take that mental Devin Wright any day of the week. I just need that to come out more, not Baltimore Ravens Thursday Night Football. Devin Wright.
Yeah.
So I have to ask: do you guys think that he gets re-signed, or does he test the market?
I think he's going to test.
I think he's here for this season, but then next year, it really just depends. I mean, the Bucs have all the leverage, in my opinion. So, they can offer him an extension on, what kind of terms they're looking for. But they're not going to give in to what he's demanding. That's for sure. As far as 21, he wants $21 million per season. He's just not going to get that. And he thinks he's Roquan Smith. He's not. He just hasn't been.
Well, and even
Yeah.
then, I don't even think Roquan deserved it. Again,
Right,
that's
right.
the team with a rookie contract at QB
Yeah.
that plays a part into how you divvy up that money. The
Mhm.
way the Bucs play it, they give you so much guaranteed money earlier
Up
in
front.
your
Yep.
career. But the Bucs, we don't know what the quarterback position is going to be like.
Yeah.
Again, we saw Lamar got re-signed. Who knows who the next quarterback who's going to be on the market is?
Right.
Who knows,
Yeah.
if the Bucs are going to mortgage their future if they like, let's say next year trade up for a first round quarterback,
Mhm.
maybe, or maybe let's say have a top 2 or 3 pick, then Devin White's money isn't as big of an issue.
Yeah.
The issue is he's third on the totem pole behind Wirfs and Winfield.
Yeah,
That's his
sorry.
issue.
Yeah, sorry to-
Jeremy saying that the
Yeah.
Eagles just traded up. Oh, go
I
ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just
It's-
going to repeat what you're saying, Gene. So Eagles trade up one spot, and this
And
probably
what
is
I
gonna,
tell you, this is
yeah, it's going to
Jalen
be
Carter, man.
Jalen Carter. So, and that's smart for Chicago because
I think it's
take offense
because they're going to take an offense, but why not just get an extra day 2 or day 3 pick? Why not?
Yeah, you might as well.
It's a free swing of the bat. That's
Yeah.
what the draft is, man. And they have still a lot of needs. And the Eagles might have the best defensive line for the next decade,
Yeah.
but they just paid a quarterback too. So I mean,
Mhm.
we know once you pay a quarterback, that
Yeah.
trajectory has gone. I mean, you look at the top quarterbacks contracts. Allen and Mahomes are like not even top 5 anymore. They're like maybe
Nope.
5 and 6.
Yeah.
And how many of those quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl? And when you
Right.
look at the
After the
top
contract,
ten-
because Russell Wilson won it before the contract, but
right,
not
right.
after the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Great points. And yeah, this is probably going to be Jalen Carter. And again, the richer get rich. Continue.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that trading worked out for them pretty well
Mhm.
because this ain't their original pick.
No, it's not. Yeah, that was whose pick was that supposed to be? That was trying to think who that was supposed to be.
2022.
Let's see.
Well, why we have like a little
Oh, it was
pause? Huh?
New Orleans.
Oh yeah,
It
Saints.
was New Orleans' pick.
Yeah, that's right. Let me bring this back up here because I want to get Gene's thoughts on
And that weird swap for all those that trade was just so bad for the Saints for the Chris Olave and not really Olave, was the tackle that they picked. That was the issue.
Yeah. So I know we talked about the offense a little bit earlier in the show with Ken, but Gene, just your thoughts on looking at the defense here, for the Buccaneers as you see on the screen. Just I personally feel like it's a pretty strong group. It's going to be still pretty above average. Just your thoughts on the defense and what do you feel they need to add to it?
I don't know if you guys remember when the Ravens just were continuously dominant. Their defense was continuously dominant. They always addressed the defensive line, always. Even if it wasn't something they needed, they were always rotating those players in, and they kept a very stout defensive line. And when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and let's go back to 2014. We don't have to go back too far. We could if we want to, but that defensive line was atrocious. I mean, it was basically a colander, and you could just me and you could probably run through that line or whatever. But we've gotten spoiled, and I just would hope that they keep paying more attention to the defensive line, because I remember from the time the Super Bowl to what was it, 2013 or something like that, they were never really able to hit a home run on the defensive line. They were never able to consistently keep that the defensive line consistent for any period of time. There were always holes, and with injuries they were always thin. And then there were drafts that they didn't even try to address it for years at a time. So to me, I would hope that they keep their foot on the gas. If there's somebody they feel will benefit the system, hey, let's get that player in here and keep this going. I like what they're doing, but again, you with injuries and unknown things can occur, so you always want to be looking at that offensive line as where you can upgrade and keep them young.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if anybody watches Real Bucks Talk, like we always talk about the edge position, it's something that they need to continue to add. You got to have rotations. You got to have guys that you can build and develop there, and continue to affect the quarterback. That's the biggest thing that you have to do, and you have to find ways to continue to add to the defensive line. I do like the move of Greg Gaines and getting him here. I think that's a really good solid pickup. And obviously with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, we just have to continue to see that
Mhm.
progression. And I think he did take a step last year. Now it's about just continuing to build. And they
Yeah.
did bring in I think it's George Edwards from the Cowboys, who will
Yeah.
be, I think, a good solid move and hopefully help these guys. Anthony Nelson is back. And obviously Shaq Barrett. With that said, and with us talking about edge, let's bring in my co-host, Mark Ramirez here, and
There he
he
is.
The
loves
man.
he loves talking edge position. He loves talking about defensive line because obviously that's been a pain in our side as far as just it's something the Bucs just refuse to do, especially high
Yeah.
end, and like they got to do it. They have to find ways to
Mhm.
get better there.
Yeah, you went up front, right? You got to find a way to help out your secondary since everyone likes to throw them under the bus. Like it's their fault every damn time when it takes you, I don't know how many blitzes to get to the quarterback because your front four can't do it. So help them the hell out, figure out a way to get pass rush without blitzing a corner,
Wow.
a safety, a linebacker, or multiple of those. So
Jalen Carter.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
hoping he would fall out of the top 10, but Eagles, of course, feeding us strength, right?
Mhm.
Hide
There
your
you go.
But
weakness.
even
That's what I
then, it's their strength. Let's say Fletcher Cox retires. Javon Hargrave moves, or they just resigned him. But they have two stout inside defensive
Right.
tackles.
Plus
So
Jordan
now
Davis.
you have the
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
techs for the next decade.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have the entire
Yep.
Georgia defense. Nakobe Dean behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice call. I forgot about the OBD too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and draft all. No, I'm surprised they're not going to trade back in and get our boy Nolan Smith.
And and we were talking about this earlier before you hopped in, Mark, that this pick was all because of the Saints too.
Mhm.
That whole switcheroo that they did last year.
Yeah. And
For the
Chicago.
left tackle, I can't even remember the name of from that small school because he never
Yeah.
even played last year.
Yeah. Chicago's
Jeremy,
pick is
Jeremy's on top of it. Yeah.
What did Jeremy say?
Defensive tackle.
He's saying defensive tackle here for Chicago, but I'm not. Would this be
If you traded
Kalijah-
back to go
Kalijah
to go,
Cansey?
No.
yeah, but why not take Jalen Carter at 9?
Yeah.
If you why would you just trade him
Yeah.
to the Eagles? Which, by the way,
I
they got a 4th round pick next year was the comp for the trade.
I have to feel this is offensive line. I agree with G Vegas talking about Peter Skoronski. I think that would be ideal fit for them.
Yeah, and because they really need to protect their quarterback a little bit better than what they've been doing.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, they got their weapons. DJ Moore. They
Mhm.
traded for the Pittsburgh receiver.
I thought that my guess would have been Skoronski. I think he had the flexibility to be successful at tackler, guard, help Fields out. That would have been my original guess.
Mhm.
And
So I'm just curious, guys. What has Chicago done to help Fields out? I mean, for this upcoming season, have they done really anything?
It's DJ Moore
Realistic.
for me, man. That was just to me. That's what swung the deal. If it was like Terrence Marshall, I'd have been like, okay, I think both teams get what they want. But DJ Moore being in that deal is huge. Is huge for what that possibility, and it makes the Chase Claypool move better too, because rather than Chase Claypool being your 1 and 2, and you have Darnell Mooney as well. Well, now you got maybe not 3 number 1. I mean, I think DJ Moore is your number 1. But DJ Moore can slide into the slot. Claypool's more of an outside receiver. Mooney's an outside receiver. So it's like you have that diversity, which I'm a huge fan of diversity in your wide receiver room. I want you to have a tall guy. I want you to have a fast guy. I want you to have a slot guy. Like they have each of those 3 levels already figured out.
Mhm. Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's the offensive line that to me is they need to fix badly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you want to give Justin time back there and obviously room to operate and play to his strengths, and you want to avoid those injuries creeping in there. So yeah, I think Chicago, they're on the right track. Obviously, with that move to get DJ
Mhm.
Moore, I agree. And you have a good running game with Khalil Herbert. I think that's good, and obviously adding to their defense.
Also, tackles are falling.
Yeah, which is good.
We're
That's
at pick
good.
11. We know the Titans aren't going tackle.
That's
So-
good for it's good for the Bucs. Obviously,
I don't think
there's
Detroit's going tackle either. So
there's only been one tackle taken so far. With
it
which
was
is
the consensus one guy too, and at least in my eyes. So
yeah.
I think Green Bay's kind of the wild card, to be honest.
if they draft a wide receiver, I may just lose my shit. The moment they trade Rodgers, they invest in the position. Although I didn't think Christian Watson was going to make that big of an impact last year. So
What
at least they hit
about
on one.
what about this? I mean, you Vegas said it. Tennessee could go Levis. What if Levis doesn't go there? How terrified would you be if he falls in?
Fuck. I would hope someone would want to move up.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
what
you
hope
give us a couple threes. You give us next year's 2. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'd want.
Yeah. You try to trade back if that's the case.
So what is Tampa working with this year as far as picks? Do they have anything? They don't have anything extra.
Extra fifth, no
for a
fourth.
compliment. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
They,
I know something like that.
They have 3 top 100 picks, which is
Well,
probably
they had an extra fifth because of the
but they have
comp.
Yeah, they have 2 fifths, 2 6, and 2 7ths, I believe. So yeah, a lot of day 3 picks to work with.
I think that's good. I think that's good for like the linebacker position. I think that's good for another running. That's why I don't think we needed a premium pick for a running back, for instance.
Right.
So with this pick, do you get best player on the board, or you go off of necessity then? Depending on
Bears. Albert Beers saying Darnell Wright.
Okay. Yeah,
So tackle.
Darnell Wright. Yep. Yeah, Darnell Wright is a guy that again got a lot of hype coming late.
Over Soronsky.
Yeah, which is
let's go Bolts.
Hey, if the Bucs want to trade up for like a Soronsky, because again, I think that solves your left tackle. He's more of a pass pro guy, so I think you have 2 bookends in terms of pass pro. I think the Bucs are stronger at pass pro than they are as a running offense, but
No doubt.
I mean, that would be awesome. That's my ideal. I didn't think Soronsky was gonna last.
Yeah.
I thought him and
right.
Paris Johnson would go early.
Yeah, good call, Jeremy.
Good to see
You were on that one.
And Jeremy, it's 3-1.
Ooh, and Nick Paul just scored too. Yep.
But I still 4-1's our last thing. So there's no lead that's comfortable for me.
No. And what's funny is I literally fell asleep at that 4-1 game. I just had a rough day at work and I just dozed.
Well, you think it's in the bag.
And next thing I
right?
know it's overtime.
I mean, Vasilevsky has never done that as far as allowing 3 goals in 1 period at least.
Hey, like you said, he needs some X-ray glasses right now because that's where they're beating us, man. They're beating us in front of the net.
This should be them closing out the series.
Yeah, it should be.
Agreed.
Yeah, it should be.
Stupid.
That's what I told Ken, before the show is we should be up 3-1, and
in at worst case, let's say it was 2-2. I'm not concerned,
right.
But 3-1 is just a hill, man.
But again, the Lightning are a team that could win the next. They could win 3 in a row and win the series still. So, and that would be a very Toronto thing.
But then they go into Boston. That's the worst part about it.
Right. But that would be so Toronto, blowing a 3-1.
But yeah. And I tell you, Toronto's fan base really makes you just totally dislike them and never want them to win anything.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Let me get Donnie in here. Donnie, right now they're on pick 11. The pick is in for Tennessee Titans, so we'll see if it's going to be quarterback Will Levis or is it going to be another position, whether it be offensive line or maybe defense for Tennessee.
Let me ask this: is anyone playing the Buccaneers bingo thing?
No.
Hey, y'all got to play that bingo.
I started to, Mark, but then that's when we made the slide and lost 4 straight a couple of years ago. So I was like, I'm done. I stopped playing that thing.
I almost got into a shoving match with an old lady one time playing bingo, so I don't really mess with it.
Hey, it's a good story. It's a good story to tell.
That's awesome, Gene.
Keep it up. That stuff up.
That's so awesome.
No, I'd gone to bingo with my aunt one time, and this blue-haired old lady that was sitting next to us, she was drinking and cussing throughout the whole thing, and she was telling me that I'm not paying attention to my boards, and so I told her to mind her business, and she told me to make her, and we were about to start scrapping. She told me she was 30 years younger. She would have knocked me out and all that. It was, you had to be there because it was pretty entertaining. And me being the jerk I am, I was just antagonizing her, and I'm told her you just be careful because you may need a hip replacement. And she would get mad and say something to me, and it was bad. I mean, it wasn't one of my best looks. Let's put it that way. But after that, I don't too much mess with bingo.
Speaking of bingo, Yandy Diaz just hit a bomb.
Bingo.
Rays are up like 13-2, 12-2.
Nice.
Oh wow! 2 touchdowns and a missed extra point. I like it.
Very, very Tampa Bay in that type of score. Very Roberto Aguayo of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Krillin, he snuck in here. Mark was here the whole time. He was here. He was here the whole time, and I was making him wait in the waiting room, and I just would not put him in because again he was late. So I said,
This is your family.
I'm like, I'm not doing it. So
not having it.
Yeah. But yeah, he snuck in here.
Titans picks.
Better late than never.
Taking Sharonsky? No way.
Did they?
Hold on. Are they taking Sharonsky?
That makes sense.
I'm waiting for comp.
Yeah, it makes sense. Again, they need offensive line as well. They lost their left tackle.
But they drafted my guy Nicholas Petit Frere.
But maybe they like him better on the right side.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This pisses me off. This whole no blue check. I can't tell.
This pisses me the hell. Elon, get on this shit.
Yeah, you missed our Elon little rant there.
Yeah. We should get Elon on the show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. He doesn't watch football. I don't think he watches sports.
Probably not.
His brain would explode.
This because you don't know who's who. I'm going through all this draft and I don't know. And
I see it's Peter Skoronsky.
What was the
is it? So it is.
What was
good pick.
The feelings about Bijan going to Atlanta?
Plus, tell him what my reaction was.
Yeah, Ken shouted to the top of his lungs like he was so happy.
It's not because so let's look at their running back room right now. They have Algier, Cordell Patterson. So what Bijan is a great player, but you just took those two out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan's getting 20 to 25 touches a game.
Yeah.
Again, he's great, but their offensive line, they have Caleb McGarry's like Meg, gave Chris Lindstrom some money. Jake Matthews is, basically Donovan Smith plus. So it's like, that's not really changing anything. And they had the opportunity to go. Plus and I were talking before Gene popped on. We thought edge. We had a question from one of our members that we thought, hey, what do we not want to see the Falcons do? Hit on edge. Mm-hmm. Because their inside defensive line right now is Campbell, Onyemata, and Jarrett. They don't really have anything at outside linebacker. That's what I was hoping that they didn't do, and they didn't do it. I'm excited.
I'm happy. Top 10.
How is Daniel Jeremiah still considered a good person?
Because he's better than Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty low bar.
Who's Mel Kiper's other guy? What's the other guy's name?
Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
The Colts know him very well. No, but who's the other guy who's with Kiper and does the draft stuff?
Todd
McShay. They just need to have Jordan Reed just take McShay's spot.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go.
Yeah, Jordan Reed's a lot better.
Well, because a lot of it is just they know how to talk fluently. That's about it. Really fast.
Yeah, their personalities. They're not actual analysts.
Yeah, they can complete a whole sentence. There you go.
And Daniel,
that's very crucial.
Yeah, for sure.
Because now you have these podcasts that grow very quickly and have just as much influence and understanding of the game. So you go there instead of downloading their apps or their podcasts on Apple or whatever.
Right.
Scary
to get your info.
We live in.
Yeah. But Daniel Jeremiah is a former scout, so that's why he gets where he
And
is
also
now.
keep in mind the draft hasn't. I mean, other than Mel, like wasn't that big till about 10 years ago. You know,
He did.
so that's
He
where
did kind of break.
Jeremiah rose. I listened to him in like high school because he was like the only other person that I really like listened to because the Draft Network wasn't around. I wasn't really on Twitter much. So like he was the guy I was like, oh, this guy understands football better than Mel Kiper Jr. in my opinion. So that's why
the intriguing thing is Peter Skoronski is listed as a guard for Tennessee's pick. So that's you know, and that makes sense. That's where his upside is, you know, playing inside at the guard position. And like Ken said earlier, if he's a Quentin Nelson type of impact, you know, that's worth it.
Which are you watching on? ESPN?
I'm on ESPN.
Or NFL Network.
I'm on NFL Network.
Oh, NFL Network has him as a tackle. So okay.
So I was like,
oh yeah, I think this is all based off of Mel Kiper because I pulled up because we were talking plus earlier.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the whole whatchamacallit, like what were we talking about?
Position of value.
Like me with names. So I just pulled up ESPN's like round and thing by name or best available by name, so I can be able to see who's I know the schools and rather than the player's last name. So like for me, it was like, they have him as a guard on ESPN. So but I think it has to be left tackle because I think they like Nick Petit-Frere at right tackle. So that would be my guess.
Yeah. Wow. If this is true, Greg Allman says Gibbs selected by Lions, running Jameer Gibbs.
No way.
That's crazy.
Well, how would Greg Allman's NFC North? I forgot about that now. Oh no, he's NFC South. Carmen's NFC North, but maybe they're in cahoots or something.
Yeah.
There's no way.
That's crazy.
That's rich, and they have the day 2 pick, so that's why that'd be interesting.
You have Swift. Why the hell do you need?
Yeah, and they just signed
Williams.
They just signed David Montgomery too, from Chicago.
Then that's
yeah. I would believe it's Christian Gonzalez. Like that's the corner that you need.
What?
But
even Albert Breer said it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, Albert Breer. I just came across that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Jameer Gibbs. They compare him to an Alvin Kamara, and he could do a lot of things. And
okay, all I'm going to say is I'd rather have Bijan at 8 than Gibbs at 12.
Yes,
is my take. We know how I feel about running back in general, but I'd rather take that risk on Bijan than.
No, I agree. I agree with you there.
This is good that people are falling to us, but I still don't like that Levis is falling to us.
Good speculation is what if they want to trade Swift? They signed Montgomery.
Right.
They draft Gibbs.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a day 2, day 3.
What value do running backs have?
Maybe the Packers.
There's so many available.
Yeah.
That's
maybe.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Maybe the Packers will take Will Levis.
Please.
Pair him up with Jordan.
Oh, the Kings of just taking or having 2 quarterbacks on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
What did somebody said? If you have 2 quarterbacks,
I could see the
2 quarterbacks.
Cuda report saying that they know that it's Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, it's confirmed. It just was selected.
Greg Allman said that. It was like
me.
somebody mentioned that Greg Allman had said that.
Yeah, I think Carmen Vitale is probably who fed it to him because they're now colleagues with the Fox.
Yep. I can see the Patriots taking Will Levis. That could be it.
Let me get y'all's opinion then. So Plus and I talk about it all the time. So that's our closed mindedness. What do you guys think? Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, who's winning it? Who do you think has a more viable option of winning it? I mean, it's your quarterback, right?
Good question. We actually haven't talked about it yet.
Right? I know
I've been avoiding it.
I mean, we gotta grab it by the horns.
Here, I'll go first, Mark. So everyone knows my opinion on Mayfield, right? But if you're going to look at that contract, I don't see where the risk is. Like, to me, the contract makes sense. The fit makes sense. Do I think he's going to take us to 10 games? I wouldn't bet my money on it. But there's a realistic possibility of being, a 6-7 seed. I think that's still on the table, or winning the division with a losing record or whatever. I think it's a realistic possibility, and I think some things have to go right, part of it being the draft. But if things swing well for the Bucs, I mean, there's enough pieces offensively, and if they hit, and shore up the defense, I wouldn't be shocked. And I think, given the contracts, I'd rather have Mayfield over Brissett.
Okay, so I didn't even mention Trask's name once. So okay, Mayfield.
Well, I think Mayfield's winning it. It's not that I don't believe in Trask, but you don't get Mayfield if he's not getting the first crack at it.
Okay. All right, Gene, I know you're trying to avoid it, but
yeah.
you know what Jim would like to say? What is that meme of the guy is just trying to act like no one sees him? What are you doing?
Well, I'm like going back into the weeds here. Yeah. No, all joking aside, if Trask was that guy, they would have found somebody that would come in and back him up. I really do believe that they've seen what they've seen from him and decided, hey, we need to get in some competition. Considering where I almost called him Lovie Smith. But our head coach, Todd Bowles, he's got to do something. So I think with all the quarterbacks that were off the board by the time Baker was available, they did the best thing that they could do. Again, bringing somebody in that would come in behind Tom Brady. And, as much as I don't like Baker Mayfield, I'm going to be honest, I've looked at his body of work. Mentally, he reminds me a lot of Cam Newton at times when he's facing diversity. And I just, it's kind of a turn off.
I'm sorry, facing diversity. I was laughing.
And that could be on the field, or that could be from the local media. And how's he gonna deal with Stroud and Jenna Lane coming at him with some stuff? And it remains to be seen. So this is something you just kind of sit on the edge of your seat. My expectations are low to the floor. If the Bucs do good. If not, I won't be disappointed.
I'm seeing Lucas Van Ness, by the way.
Yeah, that's a Packers pick all the way.
It makes absolutely no sense, but hey, again, if Edge is going to fall to the Bucs too, again,
he's a big
tackle
edge.
Doesn't work out.
Yeah, he's a big edge. Makes sense. Put him alongside Rashawn Gary, and they do. That's what they do. So
at least no wide receiver for him.
Yeah,
unless they want to trade back in the end. But 2 running backs before 1 wide receiver, I did not have my money on that.
I mean, someone was saying like Bijan clearly is a best overall, I guess, skill player. So why would you take a wide receiver over him? Even I know you can put him out wide in a slot too. So I mean, you can use him different ways. So I understand that one, but Gibbs, that one kind of threw me for a loop.
Could Light move up?
I don't know. There's only one tackle worth moving.
Is there anybody that's on the board right now worth moving up for? Let me
Broderick Jones, but only for a pick or 2. I don't want to give up much.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think
give up a goal. Someone's complaining.
Well, y'all are ahead of me in terms of what I'm seeing. So,
yeah.
Yep, you did.
And back to the Baker Mayfield. I think me and Mark have talked about it a lot. I think he's the lead in the race right now. I got a chance to meet him on Tuesday this past week at the Bruce Arians golf tournament, and he's got a really good demeanor about him. Very confident, obviously. Very nice guy though. Very, very genuine, nice, and he's just got that. He's got that moxie that you see, and I feel this offense is obviously a perfect fit for him. I think it's going to expand his strengths, which is what you want. And also a little tidbit, he was golfing with the owner's husband. So that just tells you right there, kind of who they really like. And Bruce Arians obviously talked him up. His eyes got really big when talking Baker Mayfield. And so they're very excited about what he can bring, to this team.
I mean, Gene, so you got to think about this. What is this offense going to be built around, right? Yeah, it's going to be a lot different from what we saw. It's going to be a running game focused attack. And then you want to have motion one way and the play is going the other. You got to have someone that can be mobile enough.
Bootlegs, play action.
Mm-hmm.
Like they even have a play where I saw was a story with Canales actually saying that they have a legit play where they go 4 wide, they hike the ball, the quarterback reads middle linebacker. If he bails out, the guy just runs. That's literally a play they have. I don't see Kyle Trask doing that. I think if they do that, he gets half a yard. If Baker does it, he's just quicker. He probably gets like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just based on that one little tidbit, I'm like, okay, I see where he can fit in better. We're just that's literally the basics of it. Spreading everyone out, read one guy and go. That's the simplicity of this offense where I think Tom Brady and Leftwich led offense was let's play chess and try to confuse our own damn selves.
Oh my God! But that he don't call Byron Leftwich no Magnus Carlsen though, man.
I mean,
absolutely not.
But either way, it's just how simple it will be, I think is going to be to Baker's benefit, and it just fits his traits and skills that much better.
Well, even more so, who made the pick for Kyle Trask? That's Bruce Arians' regime, that offense. You know, this again for Todd Bowles. I mean, essentially, Bowles is handing this off to Canales. Like, hey, Canales, you're running everything. As he should. But what that means, though, is so again, we talk all the time with the draft. You know, is who drafted him? You know, that regime. It's still light, but this offense is not Trask's best fit. Let's just be real with that.
Oh, trade alert.
Jeez. I love this damn draft.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh trading up, and this is probably going to be an offensive tackle.
Oh, it's tackle. This is tackle.
So most likely going to be
Broderick Jones.
Broderick Jones. Yeah, for sure.
What if it's an edge? What if it's Nolan Smith?
It could be. Yeah, definitely.
Can I just read this one tweet real quick? With the 14th overall pick in the 2023 draft, the New England Patriots select kicker Sarah Fuller from the University of Vanderbilt. Or Vanderbilt University, excuse me.
Jeez.
That's brutal.
It fits, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The Lightning win.
Go Bolts.
I know, but Sergachev missed an open or an empty netter by like 6 inches, and it became an icing, and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So Lightning stay alive. They're still in the series. It's going to be 3-2. And it's coming back
home.
Coming back home to Tampa.
Get to 7.
For Saturday's game. So yeah, that will be interesting if we do get to Game 7.
Yep. So now I got to go see what the Toronto Maple Leaf fans are crying about right now.
Everything.
Did you see that they had the referee who the Maple Leafs haven't lost to, and he's reffed their games since 2019?
I bet they paid him some shit.
Yeah, all the maple syrup he could eat.
Plus, that laugh was my favorite thing you've ever done next to Jazz voice.
Oh man! Oh, the Jazz voice. Yeah.
Oh, bring it back.
I can't control it. I can't control it. It's
Pittsburgh had to think for this.
Yeah.
When we want it, we can't get it.
Yeah, I know.
So something that's funny. Bruce Cannons does their little Baker Mayfield is Biff, right? And Kyle Trask is damn it, what's his name?
Marty McFly.
Yeah, McFly. Plus his laugh. He's drunk or just for some times sounds like McFly. Like I die laughing at it. I'm like, what the hell just got out of your mouth?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, the compensation is only 120. Pick 120 to move up from 17 to 14.
Yeah, it shouldn't be expensive to move up, really.
It's either
Broderick Jones is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the pick.
I mean, who are their receivers? I would have said edge or receiver. They lost Bud Dupree, right?
Yeah.
He's in Atlanta, so maybe that's why.
They got to protect Kenny Pickett, so that's what they're doing.
Well, we're talking about Atlanta, so they got Bud Dupree, and didn't they get another edge rusher too?
That's probably why they brought in Calais Campbell.
I mean veterans, but
yeah.
This isn't like the Cardinals Calais Campbell. This is
well, yeah, but they still, like I said, they paid some money for him, though.
Yeah.
It's just when you give money to positions, it just usually doesn't work. Again, people are talking about how the Bucs screwed up trading a 4th round to move up. Like, come on, man. Move up one slot. Okay, the Patriots move back 4.
Yeah,
like,
you move up one slot to pick a Hall of Famer. You know, that's That's worth it.
And the other 4th round pick that we traded that year was Gronk, which I
Right.
was not that I was against Gronk. I just thought, hey,
Well,
he hasn't
so-
played in a
so
year.
both
he looks
picks-
skinny.
Both-
Hall of Famers, baby.
Yeah, both picks you
Damn.
traded were Hall
How
of
many
Famers.
teams can say they drafted 2 Hall of Famers in the 4th round? Or acquired, not drafted, acquired
Yeah.
a Hall of Famer with 2 4th rounders in the same draft.
And you got the best 6th round pick of all time, Tom Brady. So.
Well, and then you had the other 6th round pick, Antonio Brown, too, a year later.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh, the quitter. His name.
Well,
will
yeah,
not be
but in
mentioned.
terms of a 6th round pick, I mean, that's a gold
Yeah.
jacket guy.
So it is confirmed.
Not
Project
mentally.
Jones.
Yeah,
Project Jones to Pittsburgh.
Ian
He's
Rappaport.
like-
Yeah,
16 years old.
See, that I think if Light had that 4th, I think we might have done it. But
Mhm.
again, I think it has to be edge at this point, or maybe move back and take one of the tackles that fall or whatever.
Right.
Like
Anton Harrison again is a player that shows well on tape at times. Again, it's inconsistent. He just needs some work with his technique.
Exactly.
But a very good, promising tackle that has all the things you
Jesus.
want.
4.9740.
Yeah, for
Jeez.
Project Jones. Yeah, very athletic dude. He is.
Yeah.
But so was Anton Harrison. He ran a sub 540 as well. So
I literally got a college scholarship just for doing that, so I can tell you it's important.
oh yeah, very.
I never
very-
played it down of football. Ran it a sub 5 at 320. It was like 4.92,
Mhm.
and then like Nelson Aguilar is over on the side, and he's like, "Hey, these like guys want you," and I'm like, I literally have never been in a stance before, and literally, my first offer was from where was it? One of the not University of Colorado, but it was like a Colorado State.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna go to Colorado State, but like got an offer just for running.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, I guess if you can move that much weight that fast, they're like, oh, what else?
Well, I
can you
had just put it on too. I gained 70 pounds my senior year, so I could play tackle.
Mm.
do? I mean,
That is a huge dude.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good pick.
Yeah, Project Jones. Yeah, very
Ken, how
good.
tall are you? Aren't you like 6'8"?
6'7", yeah.
Mhm.
At 320? But hang on, remember Jerry?
But it wasn't a clean 320 though. I'm not, again, that was all gained in 5 months.
sloppy.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
a 2-touchdown lead.
He's like, yeah.
It was sloppy. No, it literally took until like my freshman year of college for it actually looked like my playing weight was 310, and like I was like, damn, I don't look like I'm 310.
Mm.
Jeez. But then again, it can't be that sloppy if you're running that fast at that weight.
Baseball and basketball, man, I was always active.
LaShawn
Right.
McCoy said,
Pizza every night.
LaShawn McCoy said, I swear I want to cheer
Be the
for
beast.
Detroit Lions, but when they make moves like that, it's hard to. They have two legit.
Wait,
running
didn't they
backs
trade
already.
back though?
They did.
Yeah, so you trade back. I think it
And-
softens the blow. So
Yeah, and you still have pick 18. So
yeah.
Why is-
Again, I'd rather have used Gibbs at pick 18, but maybe they know something we don't.
right. Yeah, Gibbs was definitely a late riser. I mean, a lot of people were saying he was going to be a first round pick. So yeah, I mean,
Well,
And I
you
don't-
Jared Goff's your quarterback. You're going to run the ball, baby.
yeah, exactly. And I don't hate
And
it.
that's
Again,
one.
he's a complete back. I mean, he's right there with, he's just below Bijan Robinson.
So, I mean, the Jets with now Aaron Rodgers, do they as a different team, go and help him with a receiver?
They
Or
got
do
Garrett Wilson. Who else?
This
they
could be
rocking
this could be
with?
Nolan Smith here.
This is whoever the hell he says, pretty much. This is going to be
Of course, he makes the trade official 3 days before the draft and probably ruins the entire. Like, what's the coach from draft day brings in their entire scouting notebook and just burns it on the table? That's probably what Aaron Rodgers did.
Yeah. Yeah. They have the one name on the board. They cross it out.
And then Aaron pulls out the note, and it was always going to be blank,
Yeah, exactly.
no matter what.
Yeah, Vontae Mack, no matter what.
Oh man!
Yeah. Rest in
Heck,
peace.
what if they win tackle?
give him.
they very well could. Yeah, they could. But again, who is that going to be? Is that going to be
Because
Anton
their
Harrison?
defense doesn't look bad, man, on paper.
This is good. I mean, who's the other?
Could they?
corner,
Could
though?
they? Yeah. Could they take corner Christian Gonzalez to pair up with?
Oh,
Sauce?
if they, I mean,
Yeah.
That's a defensive coach's dream
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Be a hell of a combo.
I mean, yeah, that'd make a lot of sense.
He wouldn't have to do much at all. I mean,
No.
but even though he's got a tough road. We got Bills, Bengals, and Chiefs. I mean, I think they're the fourth. They're not even in that echelon yet.
Yeah, not at all. Agreed.
Sauce Gardner with Christian Gonzalez would be nuts, though.
That would be
Mhm.
because you're lost sauce.
Yeah, there's still a lot of very good corners on the board. You know, obviously Christian Gonzalez, Deontay Banks. You have Joey Porter Jr.
That's why I think day 2 for the Bucs. That's where they've hit, man.
Yeah, I think day 2 you're looking at
That's where they hit.
You're looking at the safety nickel, type of hybrid. Sidney Brown, Antonio Johnson. Those guys are where.
Yeah, I think they need
at.
to keep what's his face from last year. Keep him outside.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I blanking on his name? Again, guys, I'm terrible with names.
It's
Just
okay.
Remember Zion.
Yeah.
Just keep him outside is my opinion.
Oh, yeah, with
Let
Jason
him
talking.
learn, man.
Yeah, Jason Light talking about him going inside. I don't see that at all. I think he's.
Well, they
gonna
played him, and I think that's where he was weakest last year.
Mhm.
Was when he was on the inside.
Yeah, he's going to be an outside corner for us. Yeah, they're not going to put him at the inside. It's just that's too much. I mean, the guy's 6'4", and you're asking him to turn his hips like that. That's not going to work well. So, yeah,
This edge and cornerback
Mhm.
are looking pretty. I did not expect this type of slide for the. When we were talking earlier, plus I thought those were going to be pick 8 through 15. What was essentially was going to come off the
Mhm.
board. Obviously, some tackles have gone, but only one corner so far. So
Yeah, Mark David has a question. He wants to know: does your shirt say AARP?
Actually says dad.
Uh,
Dad's against daughters dating. Oh, wait.
heck yeah!
Let's go.
I love that shirt.
That's a much better shirt, so that's
Yep.
awesome. I'm glad it doesn't say AARP. So.
All right. Proud
JC
dad.
Cornell is throwing the Will Levis train right now. He is all aboard. He is the conductor.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
My man knows how to stir up things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like
I
the
met.
root
I
remote,
also.
it's like
Yeah. I
Bleacher
also
Report
met.
times 10.
Yeah. I also met JC in person. And
Did you at least get like a Target like subscription or something?
with JC?
Oh, do you not know Mark? His dad's the CEO of Target.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that either?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
was
But
like,
I
what
met
does that mean?
Brian
met him on
Cornell.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
No
Fun
lie,
facts.
G Vegas. G Vegas. That is literally how I view her first date. Literally.
Yes.
But I'm taking it like a step further. Like I'm
Plus will be you'll be Will Smith and plus will be what's his
Yes.
face?
Martin Lawrence. Yeah.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
I almost yeah.
I am.
almost said Wayne.
I am funnier than Mark, so that works out. Yeah.
like the scene of you ever made love to a man? Oh,
Yeah. I would definitely take ecstasy as well.
right. Sway. Got a real fun sway house.
Yeah. Yeah. Great
Wow.
movie. That's a great movie. I love the second one better than the first one.
I
in my opinion.
agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched the latest ones though.
The last one wasn't terrible, but it just didn't feel like
Yeah.
It felt more like 1, but not as good. Did not feel like 2.
Right.
Bad Boys for Life, whatever it was called.
Mhm. Yeah. I think they were too old, in my opinion.
Well, what was the last thing Martin Lawrence has done? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
long time. Yeah.
He's gained some LBs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man's poofy. Like it's all in his face too. He's like a
Mhm.
swollen. He got stung by a bee, like in what was it, National Security? or that?
Oh, yep, that is it.
Yeah. Great movie.
Well, I love Martin Lawrence. So he's hilarious.
No, 90s, 2000s, he was killing it, man.
Like Martin.
I'm seeing Will McDonald.
Really at 15?
Will McDonald.
No.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing, man.
Come on now.
That's what I'm seeing too.
Yeah, JC's put Nolan Smith and Will Levis.
Yeah.
Wait, Will McDonald here at this pick?
That's what they're saying.
Draft Network
At
did it
15.
too. There,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going to trust the Draft Network here.
He is a very good like edge rusher as far as bend, and he can definitely win outside
It's 15, man.
But it's rich. It's very rich. But that's what I was talking. We were talking about this earlier, Ken. Like we could see names like this go way earlier than we thought.
It's a preference thing, man.
Yeah.
Those there's not a huge separator between.
Hey, who's this little midget up here trying to hype the crowd up? Wait, can I say that?
Yes.
Well, we'll know if I'm canceled.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, it's technically little people these days.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
my bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
a
is
little
already.
fella.
I'm already gonna get claims for this stream already, so it's fine. It's no big deal.
I'm really helping things along, man.
It's gonna be demonetized. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that is so stupid. Yeah, there was like some yellow thing. Like, what the hell is yellow? I thought it was either a yes or a no. Now
Right.
it's some.
Yeah, limited. They have like limited monetization or whatever.
Like, what the hell does it even mean?
the
And what did I do?
Yeah, exactly. Richard, what did you do?
Looks like DeAndre Hopkins just removed anything Cardinals related off of his Twitter account
He's gone.
or his Instagram.
He probably doesn't even like Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Wait, who retired? Is D-Hop? Is that who we're talking about?
D-Hop, yeah.
Hey, plus, is that Alex announcing the pick?
It might be.
A short stack right there.
Oh,
Wow.
I
That's awesome.
feel like you could supplant this kid and put him in the Little League World Series.
Oh yeah.
He is hyped though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll give it to the little fella. He's really doing
Well,
his
his
thing.
shoot game is strong for his age. I'll give him that.
Bringing that energy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good day for Tampa Bay sports so far.
Mm.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, you guys are ahead of me. So I'm just now seeing like him going like, high enthusiasm. He was just like pretty chill when he first came up, and that's what I saw. But yeah, he's hype.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So got Washington up now.
Yep,
What
no.
could this be? It's not quarterback. It's not going to be Will Levis.
Please. Why
It
wouldn't
could-
it? Why
It
wouldn't
could
it?
still
Because
use
they
the
just
quarterback.
paid for what's his face, Jacoby Brissett, and they have the fourth round or whatever
We're in the
third
same,
round guy last
we're in
year.
the same shoes then. We're in the
No,
exact
No, I
same-
know, but Ron Rivera, I don't feel like can tie his job to Will Levis. But
Well, it's
maybe
not
he
even
can.
Rivera. This is what's his name show now? Damn it! What the hell why am I drawing a blank? KC's OC.
Oh, Eric Bieniemy.
Enemy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay, that's good.
Rivera ain't going to say jack squat. This is Bienemy's. That's almost like same thing with Canales taking over the offense. Like,
Yeah, but they could also get Chase Young's replacement right now too.
Yeah, true. Could also go corner. Deontay.
Yeah, that's what I
Banks
mean.
was pretty nice.
They're not exactly
Christian Gonzalez.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
well, see, you can't be doing that. I wouldn't let him near a basketball. And he's jumping over cars and stuff. No.
yeah.
Well, that's in your contract. You're not doing that no more, buddy.
I can't wait to see this in like 20 seconds.
Oh, man.
Yeah, G Vegas, I was just going to say that. They didn't even pick up Chase Young's fifth-year option.
that was stupid.
I'm seeing Emmanuel Forbes and also Pewter Report is one of the people tweeting about this as well. Cornerback Emmanuel Forbes from Mississippi State.
What's the issue with Christian Gonzalez? I thought he was a clean prospect.
Yeah, me too, man.
What?
Maybe Detroit for Christian Gonzalez round
That'd be
2.
smart. Round 2.
Well, pick
Oh,
18. I
almost
mean,
said
round 2 with their picks. They get a second shot at correcting their original mistake. Because if you flipped 18 and 12 for their picks, if they landed
Big
Christian
ones.
Gonzalez, it's like what the Bucs did with Chris Godwin. Got him in round 3, could have swapped him with Justin Evans round 2, and everyone would have just been happy.
Mhm.
This is getting exciting. It's
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
it's already
Again, this is that consensus talk Plus and I were having. Like, yeah, well, there's a consensus big board, and it's great. But the NFL teams, unless they're the Ravens, generally don't stick to consensus most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
mean,
does Jason Light? Jason Light doesn't really, though, does he?
No, he definitely does not. I mean, he would have
I've
gone
always thought
Derwin
he
James if
drafted
that
a
was the
vacuum.
case.
Yeah, and Dalvin Cook, of course.
Dalvin Cook too. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that guy at now?
He's with
What?
Minnesota, but I think he requested a trade or something.
Are you sure? I thought. Oh,
Or maybe
okay.
they floated his name out there in trade talks. I forgot which it was, if he initiated or the team like leaked out or whatever.
Yeah, I don't see Dalvin moving anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense for them. He's a very good player.
Again, running back.
Because I thought that he had like requested a trade or something like that.
No, I think it was just contract stuff.
Hey, Will Levis to the Patriots.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
No, I'm not saying that's the pick. I'm saying
okay.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that could definitely be it. You know, that makes sense. Because maybe you're not as high on Mac Jones.
But let's have this conversation though. What if Light did it?
If they took Will Levis, I mean, it would just cause chaos. Like, it would cause a mess because now Will has to play at some point this year, and I think it would cause issues. It would cause issues, I think. Yeah. But I can understand it because you want to find that quarterback of the future, and if you feel Will has a much higher upside than the two you already have on the roster, then you got it. I mean, you got to
maybe Light thinks he can get the mayo out of his diet.
Yeah.
He eats whole bananas.
And again, I
that's a fun fact.
Again, I like Will Levis's tape. I think his 2021 was really good. And when you look at who his OC was in 2021, it was the Rams offense coordinator, which is pretty much the same offense that the Bucs are going to be running. It's a perfect fit. He's super athletic, and he can throw on the run, powerful arm, do all the things that you want, from an offensive standpoint. So
the Rams OC now?
Yeah, he's with the Rams now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who Canales learned from.
Yeah, Liam Cohen, I think is his name. But you look at Will Levis 2021 versus 2022. Again, he had a much better supporting cast in 2021. Did really well, and again, last year he just had shit for around him, and it just didn't.
Exactly.
it didn't go well. So
plus his leading receiver the year before, where he actually had a good season, was like 5'8", 5'9". It was the guy on the Giants.
Right.
So it's not like he was a big target. He doesn't have the best accuracy.
Yeah.
Like, he still found a way to get it to a smaller wide receiver that wasn't jumping out of the.
So Emmanuel Forbes, is that what you guys are hearing?
That would be interesting. Emmanuel Forbes, again, very good corner, turnover prone, but he's just very small. 160.
Yeah.
160, 165 for weight, and really lanky.
We know that.
So, but again, this is what makes this draft exciting, because you can't go by what's projected. It's all based on preference of these teams, who they like the most.
66.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a little dude, little guy.
Jonathan Banks, was that his name? Jonathan Banks, right?
Yeah, he was at Mississippi as well.
It looks just like him.
Yeah.
Lanky, tall,
pretty much.
Skinny. Jeez, but this guy can book it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, look at this. Will Levis, pick 6. Based on that, please, Light, don't do it. Well, then again, if it happens, let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Wow, he just jumped that route.
Yeah,
again, Jesus.
Yeah, he's a very good ball hawk. Again, it's just the weight concerns, but the tape doesn't lie. Again, he's a good corner.
He's tackling up high too. What the hell?
It's like a spider. I got him.
But yeah, he had a lot of interceptions. A lot of interceptions at his time.
Look at that speed, that breakaway speed.
Damn. Things are going fast here, plus.
Oh yeah, moving up. So, guys, if you're with us, the Buccaneers pick is going to be up here soon. Pending trade back if they do try to move it, but almost up. So, stay with us, and we should have news and obviously get more into Bucs, insight on the team and everything that's happening. And we'll talk about the pick, obviously, and give you our thoughts and analysis.
All right. So, since we're only a couple picks away, Patriots picks in. What's everyone feeling? I mean, I know we touched on the Will Levis stuff, Nolan Smith possibility. I don't know why Christian Gonzalez is there. Hopefully he's going here because I don't understand why
he's going here.
He
It
is?
looks like the Patriots are going to take him. It looks like.
That's I'm surprised he fell this low.
Mhm.
Good, yeah. G Vegas said it too. That's how they're picking. So yeah, who are y'all thinking? I mean, everyone in the chat, let me know who do you want. I mean, we're one pick away. Detroit, okay. If it's one of our guys that we want, okay, we got to keep moving on. But is
The
it a
Bucs are going to
quarterback
trade back.
again? Edge rusher, offensive tackle, who's available? Anton.
Right.
I mean,
Bucs trade back.
you think so?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've been known to be wrong all the time. It's probably just be another one of those times.
I think trade back makes a lot of sense. Again, get more picks. But again, it's how far can you move back? All those things. So yeah, Detroit's up with their next pick. But yeah, Patriots getting Christian Gonzalez. That's a home run pick for them. They definitely needed, corner. Definitely need a defensive back. So
You know what's kind of funny though? Seattle picks right behind us.
Right.
Remember where they were like saying they weren't afraid to take a quarterback if Anthony Richardson was there or something like that? What if Will Levis? I mean, same scenario you just said. Canales says if that fits my mold, I want him. What if Seattle jumps ahead to take him?
Yeah, they very well could. Again, the Bucs could trade back with Seattle and maybe do something like that.
It's crazy though, considering Geno Smith and contract he just signed.
Yeah. But again, it's, with the draft, you always have to keep one eye on, the present, and you always got to keep another eye on the future, because you don't want to be in situations where the cupboard is bare, and especially with the salary cap, you have to think of it as an opportunity or
it's a big chess match.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, the 5-year contracts play a big part into it. When you can get a rookie quarterback on that 5-year deal for as cheap as it's going to be in comparison to other contracts, that's definitely worth it. And it gives you a time frame to try to win a championship, during that time. So I totally see it. I can totally see it if that is something they're looking at.
Is Levis? Do you think Levis ends up being a day 2 pick?
I mean, you look at the remaining teams here in the round 1. I could see Minnesota, taking a chance. I could see,
based on what you just said. Plus, though, someone's going to trade up for that 5th-year option.
Oh yeah, for sure. You could see it. You could see a team from the 2nd round, try to trade up and get them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where Tennessee is picking in the 2nd round, but you could see them try to trade up and, maybe get him. So yeah, this just makes the draft great because it's a puzzle that you're trying to put together.
This is a weird one too.
It's very weird because, like I told you, Mark, how it's there's not a lot of top end talent. There's only 3 like blue chip players in this class, so they're all gone. It goes based on preference and what you want to do. So yeah.
What did I miss while I was gone?
Everything.
So
it's been 6 trades.
Yeah, so Christian Gonzalez to the Patriots.
Woman kicker gone.
Good pick.
Yeah, the woman kicker's off the board, man.
She gone.
What do you guys think of like a Jackson Smith and Jiggas there?
I like Jay. No, I like JSN. I think he'd be a lot of fun.
I
don't think we draft a receiver, but
no.
Are you saying for? I was about to say, were you saying for us? Don't do that.
No, I was saying for us, but I was just saying because I know draft Twitter and everything. But I think it's a good fit for Detroit here since Gonzalez is off the board. Jameson's going to miss 6 games, so who knows?
So what was that betting thing on? Like what happened there?
So think of it this way. So you know how Calvin Ridley, got suspended for betting on NFL games.
Okay.
So there were 2 players that did that and are both being suspended. One for the Lions and one for the Commanders for like the entire season. So they did basically what Calvin Ridley did. What Jameson Williams and this other guy did was they just bet in the team facility, which I guess I didn't know it was like a rule, but you can't do any sports betting on a team facility
Like
for any sport.
Like bet together. Oh, this team's going to win. I bet it. Like an
Yeah,
inside
or I think they were doing it formally because it was probably tracked on like a DraftKings or something where, again, they probably have the data with the sponsorships. You know what I mean? So that would be my guess on how it occurred. I don't think it was, hey, I went to Nebraska, or I went to Ohio State, you went to Michigan. Let's put $20 on it. No, I think it was like they're organized betting on like an app in the facility.
Yeah, how the hell do you track that? That's more scary.
I think that's why my theory is it's an app because they already have the partnerships. They probably give the data over.
Yeah. Kid, did he play last year? He played, right? A little bit.
He had the ACL. He played. His first game was like week 14, and he was like playing special teams as like a gunner.
At least he saw the field.
Or it might have been a little bit sooner than that, but they slowly worked him back, which I think was the smart thing to do anyway, given their season.
Well, pick is in. So what is old Twitterverse saying?
I'm pulling up now.
I'm praying for Nolan Smith, but we're probably not going to take him.
Yeah, I know, me too.
He could be the pick right here.
He could be. Yeah, he could be.
I'm seeing Jack Campbell.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, really?
To reunite with his dad, Dan Campbell.
There you go. Take an
pretty
Iowa linebacker.
from everything I'm seeing too.
Jack
Damn,
Campbell.
that's high.
That's a Dan Campbell pick.
Yeah.
It is a Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
pick,
Picking
but
his
I'm
son.
still
I
shocked.
mean, got to take your son, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Peter reports confirming that too.
Under Luke Kuechly? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got to do it.
Stroud is tweeting that Anton Harrison seems a little high for the Bucs. I mean, granted, he's in the room and everything, but he did say looking more like an edge rusher such as Georgia's Nolan Smith.
I hope for Nolan Smith.
Could you imagine? Or Brian Branch. No one's ever said his name yet. So Brian Branch.
No one's
Smith.
mentioned anything about Branch.
Come on.
Today.
Give me one of those two right there, and Mark's a happy camper. And Mark is happy. Come on now.
Yeah, Nolan Smith would be nice.
Come on now.
Yeah, that to me is the big three. Fuck Will Levis and that whole conversation. It's those three.
So do you think Kancey is a day 2 pick?
No, I think he sneaks in round 1. I think he makes it.
Oh,
yeah.
I think someone's gonna find.
I don't see the Bucs dropping back either. I think they're picking at 19.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I'm
Unless they drop maybe 1 or 2 spots. That's the only thing I could see. I mean, they're not dropping far.
They
not
could
dropping to 32.
They could drop to 21 with where the Chargers are, and Chargers need a receiver, so does Seattle. So you could
or
see
a team wants it like Levis or something.
Right.
That.
Yeah. Or you could see them drop back to Baltimore's pick. Baltimore needs a corner, so does the Chargers. So there's opportunity there.
Come on now. This is where Mark gets a little too overly stressed.
Don't.
It's gonna be all right, my friend.
Don't stress out. It's okay.
Because they always do.
At least look at it this way, Mark. It's not going to be a Logan Hall. So
yeah. I was a mute when that happened. I didn't even.
Don't search this on Twitter, guys. If you search just Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's a bunch of randos saying Will Levis, just straight down the line, man. It's hilarious.
No blue checks. It's a bunch of no blue checks.
No, not even blue checks, but even the ones that do have blue checks, like this one guy named Jared Colzars, who's got like 4,000 followers. He's like, Will Levis to the Bucs seems like a good fit. No, it is.
Does it
really
though?
isn't, but okay.
You could say any name in that.
Yeah. So Bucs are officially on the clock. We got I see 5 minutes for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing.
Yeah, I got 5 even too.
Yeah.
Wait, did I catch up to you guys?
I think you caught up. Downstairs.
Yeah, I'm
you
at
caught up.
456 now.
Uh-oh, it says pick is in. G Vegas.
Pick is in. Oh, here we go.
Jesus.
Yep, I see it now.
G Vegas has the fastest.
Don't look to Twitter. Just let it be.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
Just
I'm
let it
turning.
be.
I
How
just
about
turned my
this?
Twitter off.
I won't.
I just
If I find something, I won't say it. How about that?
I just closed Twitter. I just closed my Twitter up. I'm not paying
Just to
attention
see
to
that
it.
the true emotion, what it is.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna commit to this.
Mark needs a Four Loco.
I do.
All
I
right.
need to.
All right,
I need
I'm
to
committed
shotgun
to
one
it.
and drink one later. I'm Nolan Smith or Brian Branch. That's my two.
I would hope, those are the best players available right there.
Gosh,
But you know what the thing is?
This is a long time. This is taking forever.
The thing
As
is
long as 5
about
minutes.
the thing about Nolan Smith is he has the ability to play inside linebacker as well, which is awesome, and he can also
did
play
we-
edge.
Who
So
did we just get? Like the Micah Parsons coach?
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God!
And he fits that role
Fancy? Are they-
perfectly.
Getting my
no.
reaction right now. You're
Yeah,
getting my reaction right
okay. All right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have looked at that.
What was
And
it?
I can't unsee it.
I got a text.
I can't see
Do
it.
you want to know?
I can't see it.
How about
Is
this?
it-
Class
Is
and
it-
notes.
I
can't
If
see.
you guess a position.
I can't see.
Guess a position.
Quarterback?
No.
Okay,
Is
that's
it
good.
Elijah Cansey? Will Levis is
Yeah.
name.
That
It's
I can't see
Kalijah
it.
Cansey.
Oh
No, it isn't.
wow.
That's what I said.
Wow.
What? How many years
Actually-
have we fought this? How many freaking years did we fight this and they weren't going to do it, and then they freaking do it?
I actually like that.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I actually
I
like that.
convinced myself this fucking year that they weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
How many years in a row we're like they're going to do it? They're going to do it. They don't do it. They do
I
it
actually
fucking
like
now
that,
when I say
yeah.
we're not going to do it.
That's actually a really good pick.
That is a damn good pick next to Vita Vea.
He's a really good player. He brings everything that Logan Hall isn't. And,
Yes.
and
Trade him.
he's
Get rid
so
of him.
good. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's
Did you hear me
great.
say can't? That's why I kept saying I can't see it.
And it also fits the scheme because Kalijah Cansey can win playing as a 5 tech or
that
inside,
logo is badass.
3 tech.
This is
So-
That
insane.
logo is badass.
This is going to be
Because
legit.
his first step is like legit. Like he's so fast and he knows how to win. Damn the size. Again, he's 6'2", 280. But
This is I'm going to say it.
he can
let's
play.
get canceled. A dick slapped Logan Hall's face.
Mhm.
It is. Like this is okay, 6'7". Oh yeah, you
But
suck.
it gives an opportunity for Logan Hall to play at a position that's more suited for him, which is like
Yes.
the 5 tech and
Wow.
play outside. So yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
That is legit.
Yeah,
He's cold.
I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't watched Cansey.
he's
so
really good.
I'm excited. I know I'm excited.
Yeah.
Pitt's usually a good school too to
Mhm.
get these types of positions and players.
I mean, you see him on
I'm
the
watching
TV now.
the ESPN now. Yeah.
98.
Dude, it's
Oh, that first
huge.
step is great.
My
Oh,
boy
yeah.
is huge.
Okay.
Yeah,
He doesn't
Yeah.
look
Wait, is this the
in
kid that they
picture.
said has like Aaron Donald like
Yes.
tendencies?
right.
Ed
Right.
Oliver?
Like Aaron
Yes.
Donald light.
Yeah, really good
Oh.
Hey,
pick.
the last time they didn't draft Aaron Donald, they got Mike Evans.
Yeah.
So maybe this is round 2. Maybe Light knew something, but he was like, "Hey, I like this receiver a little bit more with this." No, excuse me, they drafted Mike before Jameis, so never mind that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I like his build too, and I like that.
Yeah.
For instance, I think he can work. Like you guys are saying, the scheme fit is there. It's
Yeah.
a need. It's a pass rush help. Is what they're
Exactly,
also
and that's
getting
what they-
into.
Yeah.
And
Again,
again, that's what I'm saying. You keep
You're-
improving. You're trying to upgrade on the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, listed at 6'1", 281. The arms are short. That doesn't help you. But again, him playing as a 3 tech next to Vita Vea, who Vita is going to obviously draw the double teams. Kalijah is going to have opportunities for one-on-one. So that's going to give you a huge presence to get quick pressure, which is the name of the game right now. You have to get that quick interior pressure. And you add him next to Greg Gaines and also, Logan Hall, who's hopefully can ascend.
Wow.
That's a great
Well,
pick.
Logan Hall is what basically going to be Will Golston pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to play the 5 tech and he's going to, push the pocket and also give you pass rush ability from the little outside position there. So
Yes.
yeah, I like it. That was smart. Again, he was the best. He was one of the top prospects available, and they got him. So, you got to do that.
But get ready for your C pluses on ESPN.
Oh yeah,
NFL Network.
Yeah.
D minus. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a D minus or something like that.
But here's the thing. So I don't. I mean, unless they're taking a tackle in round 2, I don't see there's any type of starter that they can even get. So from this standpoint, what are you guys hoping from the OT? Like, are we moving Tristan left? Who's playing right?
As far as offensive tackle, they're probably going to just move Tristan to left, and they're probably going to go with Luke Gedeke at right tackle, and
probably just get signed like a veteran on a min.
Well, they probably could have Brandon Walton play right tackle if they needed to, and be the backup or depth or whatever. And there's always potential to draft a tackle later on. Maybe there's a tackle that falls to 50 again that they like, but right now,
I don't think there will be. But
no.
I think they go corner or safety in the next pick.
And guys, I know I'm in the minority here, but I'm just struggling with them moving him to a different position. No.
Oh, Tristan Wirfs, yeah. I mean,
Tristan Wirfs, yeah.
I understand the, that thought process, but you also have to look at it. He's primed to play left tackle. He can play left tackle or right tackle. I don't see it as an issue because when you look at his last year at Iowa, he played left tackle and he was pretty damn good at it. So he's got that ability. Will it be a transition where he might struggle some? Yeah, I think there'll be some struggle because you have to learn how to, stab defensive linemen with your left hand instead of your right hand. So it takes time because if you're right hand dominant and not left hand, that takes, reps, and it takes time to, get everything sequenced properly. But I feel like he's smart enough and he's good enough to make that switch.
Penei Sewell, flopped around too. So I mean, some it just comes natural to. Tristan's obviously an unbelievable athlete, and that comes into
he
as
is.
well.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is definitely true.
Light gave these little pointers throughout his little press conferences. He's like, "No, I believe in our offensive line. I think we don't get enough credit for what we have out there. So this is weight right there."
Well, I think Byron hung the offensive line out to dry as well as injuries to Jensen. So I mean, that's part of it.
And Canales' system. I mean, Seattle never really invested heavily in the offensive line. Like I was saying, it's a lot of.
And the first time they did was this past year where they drafted 2 tackles.
Yeah.
Only time they ever invested like that.
I mean, to me, this is telling what direction we're kind of going. Plus, like you just said, Logan Hall kind of playing that William Golston position. Imagine going with a big.
Do you think that's more of his strength right there, playing that Will Golston position?
Well, he's Golston, but with Will Golston's just so elite at run blocking.
Yeah.
Logan Hall just has a little bit more pass rush ability. But he's not there as a run stopper, but he has the pass rush ability.
But that's the only thing that does scare me. If you're playing the Will Golston role, you got to be able to be stout. He's not stout at all. He plays way too high.
But they also I feel like Will Golston snaps the past 2 years, or like 2021. I feel like he played a good amount. Last year, I feel like he didn't play as much as he has in the past. So that's
he's on Nacho a lot more. I mean, maybe he. I don't know, because you can't block that he's not going to get signed back. You can't say that he's truly not going to be, even if they did. They just draft Elijah Cansey, which I still am like shook. Like, holy crap! Like, why when I gave up hope, they do it? It would be the Bucs, right?
Well, and then you're going to hear Bucs Twitter say like, "Oh, they could have traded back." Obviously, Will Levis is sliding for a reason. Draft day.
I think somebody picks him up. If the Bucs didn't pick him up at 19, I don't think he would have been there too much longer.
I don't care about Will Levis. I care about winning. Like the Bucs proved it again. They don't care about winning in the future. They want to win now. Like this is a win now league. They're trying to win. The defense needed pass rush. What did they do? They got pass rush in the best way possible. They got the best.
And honestly, the fit is. I think the fit's better for Cansey than it is for Logan Hall. So. Again,
well, I mean, but the same.
And they're also depleted on the defensive line too, or inside defensive line. Sorry.
Like I wanted Nolan Smith because he's an edge rusher. He's fast. Yeah, we need that, but it plays to their way they play defense. The interior rush force everyone to cover the middle, so you get the one-on-ones on the outside. So JTS, Shaq Barrett can actually get one-on-ones way easier. If
Well, you
there's
know who this helps
Tubman,
out too?
Vea, and
Devin
Kancey.
White.
Yeah. Again, so
Yeah.
Devin White, stop crying. You got even more help. I mean, gosh, this guy, you can't touch him at times. Like a center and guard are way too slow for this guy. His hands are too fast or too aggressive. Like, so yeah, some of the highlights you see against like are really subpar competition, but still, you're making guys look like a fool. And just literally consistently, it's not like Aaron Donald where he got like triple teamed every down. The dude got doubled a lot.
Wow, the Seahawks take a wide receiver, JSN.
Really?
Hey,
Damn, they're loaded.
hey. Well, Tyler Lockett's not going to play forever, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. And they're going to have to pay DK too, so might as well help go cheaper at the position.
I mean, I'm not going to say he is Aaron Donald, but I'm going to say this is the best
Well,
pass, best
it's
pass
light,
rush
whatever you want to
duo
call
we've
it.
had in inside in a long time. Like, in a long time.
Well, people forget Vita Vea led us in sacks last year.
Yeah. That's sad.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Sad to say.
And it wasn't his good year either. Like, let's just be real. Vita Vea wasn't himself for most of the year.
All right, so everyone in the chat, so what do y'all think? I see some people listing off the names of defensive tackles. Clancy, Gaines, Vea, Hall. I mean, that's a nice little
They don't need to address the position anymore. That's the nice thing, too.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, though, do they continue with it? Is this something I talked with Plus about? Do they continue just loading up on the line, like defensive line, getting more faster, bigger, just to help with that pass rush? Like, does a second pick another edge rusher or find a way to find pass rush?
What if King Felix is there round 2?
I mean, that's another thing, right? A guy that can play multiple positions like that, like inside, outside.
Because that's what the one thing that we can say about Jason Light, he's looked at players that are versatile. A lot of the skill players that he's gotten are able to play in other positions. I have called upon. So, I mean, that's also something that he does is he looks at players that are not just like who's our safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. who play in multiple positions, and players like that. I mean, I think that's what Jason Light is looking for is versatility, not just a player that can just play in one position.
I mean, you almost got two unicorns in the middle, though. You got one massive individual you can't move, and you got another guy you can't touch. Like, it's like how? If you don't,
wild.
Touch Cansey, you get Vita Vea running over your ass. I mean that, and then Devin White flying in behind him. Like that middle of that defense is going to be scary.
Yeah, you can't just run on him.
And get Jensen to toughen him up in training camp. Punch him a couple times. Get him ready.
It's
6'6". Like get him toughened up, ready for game speed, and let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, Krillin said trade that first for Nolan Smith.
Well, that's bye.
I will say
you're basically
this.
trading 2 twos to move up.
Yeah.
I love this defensive line. I love what they've done with the defensive line over the past 5 years. And, they just continue to build on it. I know there were some times where I wanted to launch that line into the sun, but they've really come around and, they've really done some things. And I don't want to get spoiled.
Man.
Yeah. You get home with 4. Get home with 4. That's
or 5. Like, put Devin on the line, be your 5th. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want to do. But you don't need to bring 6. You don't need to bring 7.
But my thing is if your D-line can do what they're supposed to do, that leaves everybody open to do their job as well, and you don't need all these blitzes, and you're not having to put people on the island. And so, just as long as these guys can get home and put pressure on the quarterback, that's a win-win right there for me.
I mean, but look at the rotation they can run. I mean, with Greg Gaines, he can play the nose that Vita Vea, so he doesn't have to actually stay in there the whole entire time. You can rotate them in and out. So imagine Kalijah Cansey next to Greg Gaines, then switch them in and out. Then you have Logan Hall, Vita Vea. Like, you still have a quick guy that can win with speed with another power guy. So you're never just like losing speed or
like the
losing
Eagles,
power,
who we were just talking about earlier. It's literally how they're winning. That's
right?
their game, and they're
That's
beating
why.
everyone with
And,
it.
and I could, G Vegas made a great point. This is going to be game film time for Devin White, and he's got to be at the top of his game this year if he's going to get this max contract that he wants.
Yep.
Well, they're
This is his
helping him.
opportunity, and I really think they've put him in a position to succeed with the moves that I've seen in the offseason, and starting out with the draft. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Bucs finish up with. And I can promise you there will be a trade up somewhere. There will be. I just feel it.
I'm just wondering what it's for. I mean, I really, really like the pick. I almost was too ecstatic with the Vita Vea pick. It's almost how I feel with this one. It's just, again, you have that. Everyone compares him to Aaron Donald, but there's only truly one Aaron Donald.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're setting this guy up for some success, this is it. Like, you're putting him next to a monster. Like,
and I think it kind of comes back to Vita Vea getting to play with Ndamukong Suh and JPP and Shaq Barrett and learning from them at such a young age. He can now come in and he can help help some of the people on the line and put them in a position where they're more successful. And that's something else I'm actually looking forward to, just because they have that experience winning, and they can kind of instill that with some of the younger players.
I mean, there's a lot of good things. I like the direction that we're moving. I mean, this is helping out a defense an area that you needed a massive need and a massive upgrade. Happy it wasn't secondary, like a lot of people think it's always secondary. Offensive tackle, I was hoping it wasn't going to be an offensive tackle. I know Plus wanted that a lot. I wanted pass rush, and this is what it was.
Yeah.
That was the biggest need of the offseason, and you did it.
But again, I would have been happy with either side of the trenches. I would have been perfectly happy with that. I think that always needs to be something that gets addressed at some point in the draft, even if it's a 7th round pick, 6th round pick, but you're still trying to add pieces to your defensive or offensive line to make it better. So always looking for that.
They could have looked at it as okay, we want the best pass rusher. Looked at Nolan Smith. They looked at Kalijah Cansey. Kalijah Cansey just showed it so much more consistently. Yes, Nolan Smith didn't get used in that capacity a lot. Like, I don't know why Georgia just usually uses their defensive ends to stop the run. They don't really tell them to get after it. They almost funnel everything in the middle, just like the Bucs. Like, sending the middle linebackers and defensive tackles plug up holes. So, yes, he fills a role, but it's not necessarily that superior edge rusher that people think he should be based off of his athletic traits. Kalijah Cansey showed up almost every game where needing to be double teamed and from an inside presence. That's
a beautiful thing right
struggle there. At edge. Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, so if like even the Bucs, let's say, want to rush 3 at times, you could throw Cansey at the edge.
Yeah, I mean they've used Vita Vea at the edge.
That's what I mean. You throw Vita, you throw your 3 best. Let's say Shaq is hypothetically healthy in this scenario. You throw those 3 out there, and boom.
Yeah.
Again, Devin White playing that hybrid zebra, whatever around the line of scrimmage. You can win with that, and that's where the Bucs have struggled, is winning in 3 and 4 pass rush situations, and sometimes 5 too. That's what hurts me, is when we lose with 5.
Yeah. How?
And then you lose with 6, and then you lose with 7, and it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, this is Todd Bowles saying, nah, this can't happen. Because that's the thing. It keeps bringing more attention to the middle. So the running gaps will be collapsed. They won't be able to run in the middle. And then the outside edge rushers get their one-on-ones. That's what he's always been trying to line up. And he's doing it big. Oh, first wide receiver take. Oh, a second. Never mind. This finally got to actually make it happen. I mean, I've talked enough, guys. Like, what do you truly feel about the pick?
I love the pick. I love the pick. I think you're upgrading in a position. Who was that? Hakeem Hicks, that he couldn't stay healthy, couldn't stay on the field. We didn't really get to see the best of him because he was injured. a lot of the times where he was really needed. Now you've got somebody who's younger that you can bring in and, set them up in a position, next to an amazing player, and let him go. Let him go hunt the quarterback. Let him collapse the pocket, making a quarterback feel uncomfortable back there. So I love the pick, and I don't. The people that don't love it, I understand. You'll probably, once you get to see him on the field, you'll grow to love him. So I think it was a great pick personally.
Watch Real Bucs talk. They're gonna have a nice. They're gonna have a nice little breakdown of him.
Oh yeah,
Kalijah
Kancey. Yeah.
So with it though, what do the Bucs typically look for? They look for high upside, especially with first round picks, right? Mm-hmm. So what is? I mean, I called him Baby Donald because that's basically how I haven't watched the guy too much. I'm just going to be honest there, but that's just what the comp is. That's what the school is. That's what the fit is. What is that? It's diversity. It's speed on the inside, which is obviously great to have, especially when you have a monster like Vita Vea. So the need makes sense. The fill makes sense. It's, again, we've talked about it's going to make Devin better. And I think the Bucs come into the draft with, Jason Light talks about all the time with all these different scenarios that they map out. And Cansey's the type of guy that no one consensusly had in the top 20 of the draft. Let's just be real. But it's a player that they probably dove in from a tape standpoint, from a personality standpoint. They probably know everything about this kid, and he probably was not the subject to a lot of teams because that's the reality of the draft process. And seem to fall in love with certain players with that high upside. So I think it's a total Jason Light pick. It makes so much sense.
It does. Yeah, it really does. And, me and Mark have talked about this before, and there's no way. There's no way they're doing this. No possible way. So, but for them to do it, obviously, it's the right choice. It's the right decision because the kid has just elite get off, and you need disruption in today's game. You have to find ways to disrupt the offense, especially when you're going up against RPOs and just all the quick action that these teams have on offense now. You have to do that type of thing. So, yeah, really good job by the Bucs, and obviously it sets you up for day two with pretty much anything on the table. You can look at obviously nickel corner, safety hybrid. You could look at offensive tackle still. You could look at, tight end could be in play. So there's a lot of positions that they open the door for themselves. So that's really, really cool. And, obviously get an impact defensive player. That was the way to go.
Yeah, I'm looking at Pro Football Focus college, and they have him graded at a 91.8.
Yeah, he was very good.
92.1 pass rush rate grade. I mean, that's kind of what you want to see. I know he has yet to, take a snap in the NFL, but I think this has to give you confidence when you see consistent numbers like this.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But when you look at it, looking for concerns, obviously the concern is, the size, the short arms could be an issue. Also, the competition that he played, with Pittsburgh. So you put him up against better competition. That could be something where maybe it takes a little more time to adjust. But you look at his traits and you look at the on-field, you look at the off the field and the character that he is, you feel pretty confident that he's going to grow and become something that could be very solid for years to come.
Yeah, since Austin Seferian-Jenkins, who have we drafted that wasn't a high character off the field?
Yeah. I mean, can't really recall. You can't think of one. So I know Mark wants to say Logan Hall. He just doesn't.
Well, he's more of a red flag on the field, right?
He just doesn't like his demeanor. I think that's what it is.
Because I've heard podcasts with him on there too, and they're like, "Oh, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go to?" He's like, "Whoever pays the most," and dead serious, acting like cocky.
Wait, are you dead? I have not heard that. That's serious.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
No, that's
what a tough, hard ass answer. I'm like, no, I'm pretty jack shit. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, geez, but He's like, "Oh, I'm real confident with my abilities." Like, yeah, you're confident.
I still think that they wanted Lewis Seen. Like, I think that's still I think that's in my head. I don't think they expected Minnesota to take him. To me, I thought that was their guy, and they thought they had him.
All right, well, boys, I gotta head out. Bless. It was a wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I'm happy with the damn pick. I know I've said enough. It's a hell of a good pick to get a tandem in the middle. I can't wait to see it come to fruition and on our defense to actually have some pressure with 4. Can you believe it? But other than that, expect some detailed film breakdowns from Real Bucs Talk, as this is going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone, Ken, obviously, and Gene for joining us. Always a pleasure. So yeah, much thank you to you guys. And again, everyone that joined us, all the support. We love you guys so much. So with that said, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this stream. Again, we try to do this every year. And hopefully in future years, we'll continue to find ways to make it better, make it improve. And so, yeah, look forward to breaking down Kalijah Cansey. He is the Buccaneers' first-round pick. So, yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. And with that said, until the next one.